sport, either amateur or professional, has such an impressive array of trophies as these that represent the National Hockey League. Equally impressive are the performances which determine the names to be engraved. But each year, those performances seem to get better and better. But 1981-82 will be a tough act to follow. The Calder Memorial Trophy. Kluzak and Bellows and Nyland and a host of others will be trying to add their names to this award. One thing we know for certain, the name must be a new one for Rookie of the Year. A lot of people think there will be a somewhat old and lately very familiar name added to the Stanley Cup as the New York Islanders bid for a fourth straight NHL title. We'll be here for the next 7 months or so, waiting to find out who will win the Calder Trophy and the ultimate prize, the Stanley Cup, and all the other awards. And we'll have a lot of familiar names on our list. helping you enjoy this new NHL season. People such as Mickey Redmond and Gary Dornhofer, Don Cherry, Bobby Hull, and Howie Meeker.
Tonight in our season opener from Maple Leaf Gardens, we'll have our first look at the NHL's youngest franchise. I'm talking about the New Jersey Devils, and they have some familiar names in the lineup. Names like Chico Resch, John Wensing, and team captain Don Lever. The Leafs, on the other hand, are one of the older franchises with an abundance of youth on display, including sophomores like Jim Benning, Bob McGill, and Fred Boimstruck. So join us as we open our 31st season of NHL coverage right here on Hockey Night in Canada.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Molson, bringing you the finest in hockey broadcasting for 25 years. Canadian Tire. There's more to Canadian Tire than tires. Canadian General Electric. We bring good things to life. Esso, responding to your needs makes us better. You make us better. And by Ford of Canada. At Ford, quality is job one, right down the line. The Leafs opened the season with a tie in Chicago, a good performance, but a one-goal loss against St. Louis. They've been better than expected already, but they return home to Maple Leaf Gardens where they've always had trouble, so the jury remains out on this year's edition of the Leafs. As for the New Jersey Devils, they tied in their home opener and then beat the Rangers last night by a goal before 19,000 fans at the Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands. Thus, this opening game attraction at Maple Leaf Gardens looks better than it might have looked earlier in the week. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Hodge, and welcome to another season on Hockey Night in Canada. The Leafs home opener tonight. In addition to the game between New Jersey and Toronto, we'll be keeping you right up to date on the activities at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, where the Canucks, their towel-waving fans, and coach Roger Nielsen will be hosting Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers. This is a dandy attraction under any circumstances, but with these Vancouver fans excited about last year and excited already about this year with a victory over the Islanders on opening night, the visit of Gretzky is bound to create more of that Vancouver excitement. The Oilers, they won their opener against Calgary, and they were beaten by the New York Islanders last night. So it's the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks in our NHL update portion of this telecast, and we'll have the Devils and the Leafs from start to finish here at the Gardens. Some early season developments, not what we'd want, I guess you'd have to say. Blaine Stoughton has been suspended for 8 games for cross-checking Pittsburgh's Paul Baxter in the face. Stoughton will miss 8 games, has already missed 1 for the Hartford Whalers, and there was a stick-swinging incident last night involving Willie Plett of Minnesota and rookie Detroit goaltender Greg Steffen that must still be dealt with. As for a hot player off the start of the season, it is Peter Stastny in Quebec, who has 5 goals in only 2 games thus far, and his brothers, who are looking for those new contracts, don't forget, have chipped in with some assists on those Stastny goals, and Anton has a couple of his own. So those are the highlights already. A lot to talk about, and we hope to add to that with tonight's game. Let us join Bob Cole in the broadcast booth for the Gardens ceremonial face-off.
Thank you, David Hodge. The official opening ceremonies of the 52nd season of the Leafs is about to open. The Gardens announcer, Paul Morris.
One of the most instrumental people in the construction of Maple Leaf Gardens.
Of course, referring to the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, John Aird, who will drop in the first puck here to start the 82-83 season at Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens.
The New Jersey Devils and Rick Vive, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, will participate in the face-off. His Honor will drop the puck, and the Toronto Maple Leafs 55th season is declared officially open.
And there's the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Harold Ballard, the Lieutenant Governor, wishing both teams, both captains, all the best. And we're underway. There's the official opening. Mickey Redmond for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 82-83. Harold Ballard, the Maple Leaf president, leaving via that red carpet, and in just a little while we'll be underway. Hockey Night in Canada on CBC returns in just a moment.
Joe Murphy Jersey and Nick Guerin back home.
Yeah. They are so much a part of the team. It's a shame sometimes you sort of overlook them. Boy, do they do a job.
Talking to Nicky Patillo after the game, you know, and he said to me, he said, boy, he says, I wish I could get stationed in front of the net properly. And he's going to try, he says, a lot more than that to go in front of the net and stand there.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's an important part of this game, too.
Rangers will be starting off tonight with Ulf Nilsson, along with McClanahan and Hedberg, of course. Barry Beck and Rayo Ristolainen will be on the back ice for the Rangers. Greg Hotham, Doug Shedden, Randy Carlyle, Rod Schutt, Andre Saint-Laurent, and Michel Dion fill out the roster right now.
Now you can save too with a special offer where you buy Esso Uniflow.
Well, in 1981-82, the Maple Leafs finished 19th overall. It's a fact no one is proud of that record here in Toronto. But that was last year. The young Leafs know there is but one way to go, and that's up. Their young captain, Rick Vaive, put it best. We're going to be trying. You can count on that. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond from the broadcast booth. We're looking at the officials for tonight's game. Ron Hogarth, the referee. Will Norris and Ray Scapanello, the linesman. No room on the island for this man. He found a new home in Colorado and now a new home in New Jersey. Chico Resch starts tonight for the New Jersey Devils. 3 goaltenders for the Leafs this year, Paul Matier, Tremblay. But here's number 1, Michel Bunny Larocque.
Bob Larocque has played very well in the opening couple of games, especially in Chicago. Held the Leafs in that first period where they were down 3-0. Could have been a lot worse, but he's going to be the workhorse for Mike Nicolak and the Leafs this year.
And the season here in Toronto is underway. And of course, you can rest assured it'll be opening night jitters. You know, Mickey, starting at home your first night, you got to be nervous.
Well, there's no question about it. The Leafs have started out well, Bob, with the tie in Chicago, and especially coming from behind. They were outplayed in St. Louis, but came back to make a game of it and almost tie it up. As you look at Nicolak behind that Toronto bench, getting some help from Danny Maloney, who's well respected in the National Hockey League in his playing days and now in his coaching days.
Derlego with Martin and Vaive up front for Toronto. A slight delay down behind the New Jersey goal. Some debris on the ice. We had a very colorful opening ceremony this evening. We neglected to mention, didn't get a chance really, the 48th Highlanders pipe and brass bands were out there. What a show they put on. Lorimer is number 4 for New Jersey. Through center. Number 19 is Couture. For the Leafs, inside the line, that's Juris for Derlego. He falls. Juris follows the play to center with a pass to Vaive, and he flipped it in. Juris barreling in on the left side. He went in after Lorimer, but he cleared it over into the corner. New Jersey, little ragged in their own end now. And Martin, good forechecking, causing a bit of trouble. But here's Tambellini trying to get it out. He can't do it. Salming is in bumping. Now the Devils will clear it to center ice. That's Couture going in. Gets set. Can't get a shot on a bad angle now. And he was carried well into the corner by Juris. Just underway at the 1-minute mark of the opening period as the puck comes to center ice. Tambellini is number 14 for New Jersey. A pass on the right side. Miss Couture. Back for Toronto. In on the wing, Podubny. Podubny gets set to make a play from behind the net. Takes a look at the blue line. Right in front of Anderson. Podubny off to a great start this year, and the Toronto Maple Leafs score first here. With Anderson set up beautifully at 170.
Well, a good start for the Leafs here at home. What a play by Podubny. Takes the Colorado. I'm going to do that all night, Bob. New Jersey players around back of the net with him, and they fail to clear Anderson out in front of the net. He's all alone right there. 2 Leafs in a check at Anderson, and he just buried this one on the blocker side of Chico Resch.
There's Anderson again. Serving notice, he's going to have a big year. He feels great about this season. He's in top shape. And Podubny going in with him now. Anderson trailing the play, couldn't pick it up. It's cleared back to center. That's Jim Corn, number 20. McMillan trying to hook it from him. Podubny again. Podubny, big fellow at 6'1", 203. Podubny setting up that first goal by Anderson. 1-0. Here's Anderson again. Didn't get good wood on it, though. It comes right back to the line. It's kept into the corner by McGill. The Leafs showing great forechecking ability early in this hockey game. They're leading 1-0 from that forechecking. There it is, right in front again. And McMillan was there to pick it up and clear it for New Jersey. McMillan trying to go in now, but he's carried into the boards by Anderson, and the Leafs take over. There's McMillan bumping. He fell back to the net. Coming up to the 3-minute mark of the opening period, 1-0. Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Devils shoot it in. They're offside.
Well, Bob, I was sitting there before the game wondering how many times tonight am I going to call these guys the Colorado Rockies. So we got that out of the way. We can sit back and relax. Pretty good action here in the opening going. The Leafs don't look too jittery here at home. Last year, of course, we had that high-scoring game, 9-8, Leafs over Chicago. And there's a look at Billy McMillan behind the New Jersey bench.
1-0, Toronto Maple Leafs up front early. And the Leafs have Harris, Russ Adams, and Gavin out there now. Adam missed it. Gavin had fallen to the ice. Quenneville tried to clear it in. Leafs, I'll tell you, have come out running. In over the line again, Malinowski has to beat it back in his own zone. Coming to center. Foster in on the wing and lost it. Carrying on as Gagne got it in front of the net, but it's cleared up on the glass. Over there is Bill Harris trying to move it out. He went flying, fell to the ice. Point struck going in. They're roughing it up a bit along the boards. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the opening period. Leafs lead at 1-0 on Anderson's goal. Now Toronto have to come back to cover up and try to clear it. They work it well as far as the line. A high pass was tapped down by Gagne, and they call it. From Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Last month, the boss gave me a new job. Cooper, I want you to choose the office copier. So I looked at every one there was, every single one. How's it coming, Cooper? Finally, I chose a Xerox copier. The price was right, the copies were superb, and the selection was miles ahead. But most importantly, it's got Xerox behind it.
Good choice, Cooper. Now then.
After all, nobody ever went wrong being fussy and stingy.
Uris and Solving are the two defensemen for Toronto. Martin, Derlego, and 5. The big line up front. 3:21 gone in the first period. 1-0, the Maple Leafs. That's Juris. Pass to the far side. There goes Bill Derlego. Coming in, the pass to 5, and he banged on it. Just got a piece of it, and it rolled away wide of the net. Back for Murkowski. He shoots it in for New Jersey. 5. Lobbed the pass through the middle. Not a bad play. He had no place to go, so he just cleared it down the ice. Now the Leafs in bumping again. Forechecking was Martin. Now it's New Jersey closing in, and the Rock has to hold it for it on the short side. Marini was open on the right wing with Murkowski getting the break, but LaRock stood there.
Well, LaRock a big stop here. It looked like Marini was in excellent position to take a pass from Murkowski. You see the two of them break in alone from the Leaf blue line, but Murkowski decided to try to pick that top shorthand corner, and LaRock stood his ground. By the way, Bob, that goal by the Leafs is the first goal they have scored this year. They've been regular side, 5-a-side apiece. They've had one shorthanded goal and 4 power play goals in the first 2 games, so their first even strength goal.
Of course, 3 in that first game against Chicago. What a great comeback that was for Toronto Maple Leafs. You get a point right there in that Chicago building when you're down 3-0 anywhere in the game. It's got to be tough, but they did it. They'll take it. Right here, they're leading 1-0. Coming up to the 5-minute mark of the first period. Leafs are offside. Don't forget, throughout our telecast, we'll be going across the country. Well, when I show you some highlights of that game out in Vancouver, where Edmonton is the invader tonight.
Billy Derlego, that high-flying centerman. They're starting to call him Billy D around Toronto. 34 goals last year, second in scoring to only Rick Vaive with his high 54.
Face off now to the left of LaRock. Derlego couldn't get the draw. It comes back. Quick shot by Vauteur was right on. LaRock covering up again. Good positional play by Bunny LaRock. standing right there on the rim of the crease. Coming out, cut the angle down, and now Martin organizing. He's coming in with Gerlego. Shot. That was blocked in front of the net by Vadnais. Vadnais just signed this week with New Jersey. They gave him another year. His contract was up this season. They extended it another full year, something like $175,000. Mickey, not bad.
That's what you and I are making, right? Vadnais, 37-year-old veteran, of course, from the Rangers and the Boston Bruins in the older days. What a good steadying influence on this young New Jersey defense.
Rocky Saginaw gets a chance to play. His sore ribs last week. Feels okay now. He's on the left side with Aubin. Higgins on the other wing for Toronto. That's McGill from center ice. Slow moving out was Aubin. They're offside. Familiar faces in the crowd here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Guests of Hockey Night in Canada tonight. There's Foster Hewitt and his wife Joan, Bill Hewitt and his wife Barb. Foster, of course, the man who started all this. What a great man. What a great job he did. And then followed so ably by his son Bill. Enjoying the game here tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs leading 1-0. Coming up to the 6-minute mark in this first period. New Jersey hardly able to get anything going on this play, while the Leafs continuing that forechecking style, and they're digging right in there. Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
From the leading edge of technology comes a new generation of video electronics from Zenith. At the touch of a button, the giant screen rises and you enjoy Space Screen 45 TV. Push a space phone button and turn your TV into a telephone. Produce a movie with your VCR and play it back on Zenith's new component TV system with stereo capability. Video high-tech, part of the new generation from Zenith, where the quality goes in before the name goes on.
There's Vince Tremblay, the backup goaltender for Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, dressed for the first time this season. Mike Palmateer, the third goaltender. Young team, the average age of the Maple Leafs this season, Mickey, 24.28. They've got a lot of learning to do, but I'm sure they're going to do just that.
Well, you have a lot of second-year players as well, Bob, from coming back after last year, and Nicolak hopes that they get that year's experience and a little learning over the summer to help them out here in their second season.
There's Anderson in causing some problems, bumping, and he comes up with it. Goes back to Boynestruck. His shot is blocked by Resch. Toronto leading 1-0 from the corner. Flipped in back of the net by Inachak. Now back in front again. Another shot. That one was wide. It'll come off the boards back down inside the Maple Leaf line. Good forechecking by Toronto. That's Boynestruck. Got it up off the glass to center ice. New Jersey disorganized for the moment. Long, high, rising shot by Lieber. They're offside. It's called back.
Look at Peter Inachek, the European import by the Leafs. You see second-round draft choice in the entry draft. And he's quite a hockey player. They're expecting a lot of things out of him, Bob. Big fella, likes to move the puck, good skater, and is not afraid to use the body out there.
Just 24 years old. No doubt when Preacher gets back, he'll be up on the line with Inachek.
Very deceiving skater. He doesn't look like he's skating all that well out there, but he's got some good moves for a big man. And he likes to move that puck around for a centerman.
He's number 18. Duras got it back to Salmon. To Inachek. Nice pass through the middle. Anderson going in. Beautiful pass to Konopny. Couldn't handle it, though. Was cleared away by Resch. Leafs come awfully close to going ahead by 2. They're still after it. And a penalty coming up on this play. Great work. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Toronto.
Winning the race, got a grin on my face. Hey, what a day. Summertime fun here in the sun. Hey, what a great day. Break away to the taste that's green and clear. All sun Canadian breakaway. Canadian breakaway.
Well, Toronto a chance on a power play here, Bob. Some good movement by Toronto out of their own zone. Some good breakouts and creating a breakaway by Podubny. Great stop by Chico Rest just before that penalty.
Quenneville is off for holding. The Leafs leading 1-0. Can't get it going against McMillan, who stole it. Now he lost it against Juris. Back of the net is Lever. He'll try to get a whistle in there if he can. McMillan goes in to help. In on the boards. It comes loose, though. Vive made a good play. Got it back out. And Martin is away from Juris. Up over the line he goes. Martin left it right there. Lost control of it. Stallming cleared it back to the net. Urlego to Stallming. Gets set for the drive. And that was just wide. Juris keeps it in. Barely. And it's handed back to him in the center ice zone. Coming in is Martin. From Stallming, dropped it back. Juris tried a shot, a weak one off the leg. But there's Vive working it loose. Back to Stallming. Another shot. Rebound comes back to Juris. Over it goes to Vive. Vive from the boards. Looks for Stallming back at the blue line. Will he shoot it? Think so. Here it comes. Just wide. And it's fired out across the line and down the ice.
Well, Leafs with some good pressure, but getting nothing on Chico Rest. Stallming 2 or 3 opportunities from back at that point. Might see him throw it over to Vive the next time they're back there in the middle of the ice.
The Leafs on the power play, coming again. Stallming's long pass to Vive, breaking through. Beautiful. It kind of goes to the Dubney. But he was handled well in front of the net and couldn't pick it up. Now again, in a check, gets set. Played it into the side of the net. Out it comes to Benning. He drives it. That was blocked in front. And it'll be cleared by the New Jersey Devils down the ice. 10 seconds left in the penalty to Quenneville. 1-0 Toronto. This power play goes to center. It'll end there, I think. Benning coming in, though, for one more shot at it. Got it back to Anderson. His shot stopped. Dubney right on. And Chico Rush made the save.
Well, Toronto with all kinds of pressure on New Jersey. Only out shooting at this point 4-2, but territorially, they've had a much bigger advantage. Here's a good look at the save by Chico Resch on Podubny again. I think we're going to get a look at this breakaway set up by the Leafs earlier, just before the penalty. Great breakout out of their own zone. Anderson to Podubny, and Chico Resch right there with a poke check. Good play for the goaltender.
Number 16 is Russ Adams for Toronto. Got the draw back to the line. Corn shot, hit a leg and bounced behind the net. Comes right in front. And the play call, it was gloved ahead. So they'll have the face-off outside the blue line.
Bob, it's probably going to take a little while into the season to get used to some of the new rules, but one of the rules we might look for is the players not being able to cross those imaginary lines in the red circles deep in the zones when the whistle blows, whether it's a defenseman back there or a forward. They're not allowed to go past that line. And if they do, the face-off comes back outside the blue line. So it can hurt their own team offensively with that face-off coming outside the line.
And, of course, the trailing linesman will be watching that play. And they're going to be a little easy with it, I think. We've got another penalty coming up now.
Well, the Leafs guilty at center ice. Jimmy Korn going off.
With a score. Toronto 1, New Jersey 0. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
A new form of precision is coming from Mercury. The sleek, new, mid-size Marquee. Its lines are aerodynamically clean. Its room comforting. And as smooth as it may look, its gas-filled shocks create a ride that is even smoother. One glance, and you'll feel the sleek new Marquee can be aptly termed precious metal. Mercury Marquee, out of the ordinary, but not out of range.
Well, there's a look at Jim Korn knocking down the New Jersey player at center ice, and New Jersey a chance to get back in the hockey game, trailing 1-0.
Malinowski is at center, Foster on the right side, and Gagne on the left wing. They'll try to get even with Toronto. Now Stallman goes down, and a penalty coming up against New Jersey. Tripping call, and that will even things out.
Well, they got even with Toronto, all right, Bob, but not in the way they'd like to. They'll now play 4 skaters aside. As Stallman was hauled down by Paul Gagne. And only 12 seconds having gone by in the penalty to Jim Korn. Here's a look at what happened. Stallman coming around back of the net. There's the big hook. And Ron Hogarth there to make the call.
Ball game for hooking. Time 9 minutes each.
So it's Gagne for hooking at the 9-minute mark. And they're 5-a-side up this moment with Toronto leading 1-0. The goal by John Anderson. Dubney set it up beautifully. Inachek also in on the play at 1:17. Coming back, that's Murkowski, number 32. He dropped it in behind the net. The New Jersey Devils trying to get something going here now. They're 5-a-side to center ice. They have to backtrack again. Coming in, Tambellini was stopped cold at the line. And here's Derlego. Derlego gets in front. A hip check. Thrown effectively by Quenneville. Spun him around. He made a good bid to go around him. Now Larocque has to come out and cut the angle on Murkowski again. There goes Derlego to center, waiting for the pass from Salming. It doesn't come. Not yet anyway. There it is. And then Salming fell. Palmer goes back. Dropped it in front of his own net for New Jersey. But they start away. Murkowski got to center. Flipped it there. Palmer couldn't move it. Back for the Leafs. This is Vine. Trying to drop it in front. Couldn't get a shot himself. Tried to go in. Murkowski to center. He lost it near the line. Good play by Slava Juris. Juris takes his time. 35 seconds left in the penalty to Korn of Toronto Maple Leafs. 1-0. The Leafs on top on Anderson's goal. Struck back near the line. There's a quick shot from the blue line by Inachek. Moved in a couple of strides. Easy save for Resch. The Leafs start out again from center. One bad play. They got away with that, though. Now Benning flipped it in. Resch covering up, cleared it up on the boards. McMillan dropped it back to the goaltender. Fired to the far side around the net. The Leafs in forechecking again. Boyne struck. Couldn't pick it up. New Jersey get it out to the line near center. 9 minutes left in this opening period. Anderson just got rid of it. It was a little too far for Inachek. That's Hutchison. Failing to move it. It's dropped back to the line. Anderson in front. Trying to hit that far corner. Dubney was cruising near the net also. But Dubney doing great work for checking for Toronto. Back to the line. Long shot by Boyne. Struck his glove by Resch. Hangs on. Now, let's get an update from Brian McFarland.
We promised you highlights from Vancouver, and we've got a dandy highlight for you. In the first period, Gretzky has a breakaway against Brodeur in the Vancouver goal. We'll watch it now as Gretzky broke away from center ice. Here he goes. And can they catch him? Can he beat the goaltender? Brodeur got that pad down. Then he made a stop on the rebound. No score at the Pacific Coliseum, the Canucks and the Oilers. Let's get back to the action at Maple Leaf Garden.
We'll be doing this, of course, throughout the evening, showing you highlights from the game up there on the other coast. Vancouver, where Edmonton is playing. A great save right there from Gretzky. He's having a tough time getting it going so far, Mickey. 3:25 left in this period. The Leafs are up 1-0 in this game. Right in front of the net.
Here we go.
Marini, but
McGill.
Major penalties.
Like McGill and number 19 Vautour for New Jersey, and that started away from the play. Boy, they're really throwing some rights at each other.
Now, Mickey, while we're looking at this,
both sets of players, Bob.
That's right. The new rule is that the home team gone to the Maple Leaf bench, and New Jersey Devils had to go to center ice or near the penalty box area. They're at center ice now.
Well, there's a good look at it right there now on the screen. You see New Jersey players over in the center ice area by the box, and Toronto by their bench.
Actually, the Devils should be near the penalty box area.
That's really what the rule reads, is they go to the penalty box area, but as long as they're out of there and it stops all that extracurricular activity and hold-ups in the game, so the fight's over, the two combatants will go to the penalty box.
This is the second major, I believe, this season for McGill, so he's up to something this year.
Well, he's right in there mucking like he likes to do, Bob. He came to Toronto last year and certainly established himself as a tough guy, and he loves to get in there and mix it up. And see if we can get a look at how it started. A good hit by McGill. That looks like what it started right there. Vautour with the left-hand glove punch to McGill, and they said, that's the way we go. Let's get at it.
This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Hey, Harv, come on, the game's on. Where's Barb? At the game. Boy, these Baycrest socks came out great, as always.
At the game?
Yeah. Barb says for the price, you can't buy any better than Baycrest. All lengths, shrink-resistant.
How about your undies, Harv?
Those are Baycrest, too. Briefs, shorts, bikinis.
Harv, you're strange.
That's what Barb says.
Yeah.
She also says Baycrest is the best value for your money.
So, come on, Canada. Meet you at the Baycrest.
Barb says
All right, we're set to go. The combatants are gone to the penalty box. They got minors and majors.
So as the rule reads, 2 and 5 for both players, Vautour and McGill. They will not play short-handed. Still 5 skaters apiece.
Big pass to center for Gavin. Going in. Tried to shovel it in. He nearly did.
Boy, the Leafs really breaking out of their own zone, Bob, tonight with tremendous enthusiasm coming up the middle, which we haven't seen them do a whole lot of. But if we can get a look at it here, here's Gavin after he took the pass, breaking in. Does a good job of holding off the Jersey player with his left arm and does get a backhand, not a strong one, but they don't have to be hard to go in the net. But the Leafs are really coming out of their own zone very, very well here in the first period.
There's Adam again with Gavin trailing the play. Back to the line. It's kept in by Gavin. Harris is over on the right wing. Al Palmer drops it back for New Jersey. A lead pass to center. Murkowski was stopped. Leafs push it back in. I think we're getting more penalties now. Winsink was involved there. Live from Toronto Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Third down to 10. Who's gonna win? Hey, what a game. Feeling so proud, laughing out loud. Hey, what a great day. Break away with a taste that's clean and clear. Molson Canadian, the great Canadian breakaway.
In the penalty box, Salming of the Toronto Maple Leafs along with John Winsink.
Toronto penalty number 21 for a Salming, 2 minutes for slash. Time 12:01.
Salming, Mickey, was for slashing. Winsink, elbowing.
Well, Winsink's not a guy you should be fooling around with out there. Look at Danny Maloney behind that Toronto bench. Seems to be pretty happy. Still involved with the game after hanging up the skates last year. As much as he hated to, he's really excited to be behind that bench. I know he's taken some psychology courses this summer at university to help out. He figures that's a part of the game that's been ignored for many years, and he's hoping that that could help him with these young players. A very young team, as you mentioned, Bob, 24 and a half years of age, roughly, on the Toronto club.
I'll tell you, a great break for the Toronto Maple Leafs to keep him active as he is. Behind that Leaf bench, he's going to help a lot. Here's a man, Dan Maloney, who gave 101% all the time. To pass some of that along, Leafs will be okay as they mature. Coming to center now. It's Ashton trying to get himself in position for a shot. He set it up in front, but the Leafs covered up. Rott couldn't get in there. Now he does. Gives it back to Ashton. Ashton coming in. He has 3 Leafs to beat before he gets near Larocque. Can't do it. And it's cleared back down. 1-0. Toronto leading. A minute left in the penalties. Coming back in, Lorimer. He lost it to Jim Corn. Corn goes back to the net. Lever bumped the goalpost, couldn't catch him. Lever giving it another try, but Corn carries on. Tried to roll it in front where Martin was alone in front of the net. And the Leafs, Juris back to center to pick it up again. Now Juris will have to go back inside his own line. Anderson comes back. Corn missed the pass. There's Martin to Corn. Now Corn gets started. Coming to center across the line is Corn. Dropped it to the line. Martin kept it in. Martin overskates again. The late pass that nearly hit Lever. He was in behind everybody. Lever falls along with Corn. And the puck is loose and the Leafs. Martin gets away again. Here's Anderson going down on the right side. That's Martin getting in front. Now over near the corner. Left it for Anderson in front. Good! Benning got the pass. Another weak shot, Mickey. But sometimes, as you pointed out a few minutes ago, It'll have to be very hard to go in. That one is in. It's 2-0 Toronto.
I'll tell you, Bob, that was not on Benning's stick any more than a split second. A great pass from Anderson, and Benning just let it go right away, and he sort of caught Resch not expecting the shot. Martin setting up the play right here to Anderson, over to Benning, and watch it go. Bingo, right there. He let it go as soon as he got it, and right on the ice. Perfect shot, and 2-0 Toronto.
14:06, the time of that goal.
The Leafs doing a great job, Bob, of moving into the open holes to get those passes, and right now dominating New Jersey.
Salming and Winsink. Penalties over, they're back on. Larocque. Stonewall there, hugging the post, stopped another shot from an angle. Adupny gets a nice pass to center. The Leafs come in. In a check, gets set, got in front, took the shot. Rebound is there. Came close. Drifted one just wide. Back for New Jersey. Marini hands it off. Coming in is Tambellini, left it in front. Malinowski couldn't get a shot. A pileup of players. Larocque is cool and sharp.
Not a very happy Billy McMillan right now. It could be, though, Bob, we're seeing a little bit of the effects of last night's game. New Jersey, of course, upsetting the New York Rangers at Brendan Byrne Arena in front of 19,000-plus fans. And they did not arrive in Toronto.
This is Hockey Night in Canada from Toronto.
This is an ordinary sponge. Lots of stores sell sponges. But when you buy one from Canadian Tire, you're getting the very best sponge you can get for the money. Because Canadian Tire guarantees its quality. Now, you might say that guaranteeing an 89-cent sponge is not very important. Maybe not. Except for one thing. Everything I've just said about this sponge can also be said for everything Canadian Tire sells. Everything.
There's a lot more to Canadian Tire than tires.
Now, aren't you glad I told you about the sponge?
Of course, Mickey, you were saying these players get in a routine. They like to skate the day of the game now. They didn't get a chance today.
Well, no, they just got in today at noon, as I was saying before we broke away. But I'm sure the effects of last night's game and the travel and coming in today has affected them. So it may take them a period to get loosened up.
There's Vatney. Scores! You could tell that was a dangerous situation with people crowding the net in front of Larocque. And Vatney getting himself, of course, the cool veteran. He pulled a step or two to his left, Mickey, and let her go. Dandy shot.
Well, it was a perfect shot. It caught the far goalpost just on the inside. Here you see an example of a lost draw deep in your zone, and there's a shot from Vadnais, not screened by the looks of it, but he beat Larocque cleanly all the way from that blue line on the stick side. But again, a good example of how important those face-offs can be when you're deep in your zone. It's got to make Vadnais feel awful happy. First game in a uniform for New Jersey, and bingo.
Not bad.
Let's go renegotiate my contract. One a game isn't bad.
14:48, the time of the goal for Vadnais and the New Jersey Devils. 2-1, Toronto. Of course, that's a big find for New Jersey to get a veteran defenseman like Harold Vadnais. He's been around a long time, knows just about anything you want to know about playing defense in this league. Boston, the Rangers.
Here they go again.
Another fight breaking up.
Hutchison and Adam down there. That didn't take long to break out.
And again, you're looking at the players moving back. The New Jersey players have to go to the penalty bench area, and the Leafs to the Toronto Maple Leafs bench.
Well, Hutchison, known as a resident tough guy in his playing days with Chicago. And now with New Jersey, and they went at it very quickly over there in the corner. Hutchison getting in the road of Adams. He came down that right boards, and I think Adam took a little shot at him with the glove, and away they went.
We've got another NHL update for you down, so let's go to our man, Brian McFarland.
Gentlemen, we've had a goal at Vancouver, and let's watch it now as Dave Hunter scores first for the Edmonton Oilers. Look at him run into the slot there and drill one past Brodeur in the Vancouver goal. Hughes and Gretzky assisted on it. 11:53, 1-0 Oilers in the game at Vancouver. First period.
I think, Mickey, is safe to say that there is no way, I shouldn't say no way, I suppose there is, that the Edmonton Oilers will have the production of goals this year that they enjoyed last year. As you look at the start of that, whoop,
bingo. Where's Tommy Hearns? That was a pretty good left by Hutchison. Well, it's going to be difficult for them to score so many goals. By the reaction of the crowd here, it sounds like Hutchison has gotten the extra 2 minutes out of that practice with Adams. I should say Adam. There's no S on the end of Russ's name. It's got them all in the first name.
So here at 14:57, Adam is gone, Hutchison is gone. Majors. Toronto 2 and New Jersey 1. Duras. Hooking penalty. Adam the major, and of course Hutchison 2 and 5. Here's Duras coming in for a shot. Off the net. Comes back to the line again. Flipped high, and Resch just knocked it down and flipped it into the corner. They hold it on the boards now. It rolls loose. 5 is upended, and there's going to be another penalty. 5 really given the hook.
Well, Vive again with some of that tenacious work down in the corner that he's so well known for. And he forces Donnie Lever to haul him down. And what a great opportunity here for the Leafs. Penalty box overflowing right now, Bob, with 2 Leafs and 4 New Jersey Devils down there.
Don Lever for tripping. 15-21.
Well, the Leafs will play 5-on-3, it looks like, at this point. 1:36 left in the penalty to Hutchison. There's a look at where it happened. Boy, he needed a rope on that one. 5 really being hauled down. 5-on-3 Leafs. What a great chance for them here.
Okay, so Lever is gone, and the Leafs leading 2-1 have another opportunity for more goals. 5 gets set over here. It's sliced back in front, and falling on it was Lorimer. Didn't know he had it. Flipped in back of the goal. Gerlego lets it swing around on the boards to Salming. Salming over on the boards to 5. Gets in front. Flipped it back of the net. Comes back in front. McMillan was standing right there, and he'll clear it. 4:10 left in the period. Toronto leading by a goal. They have the advantage. Manpower now with Gerlego coming to center, setting up Vive, breaking for the net. Vive, low shot. He's through. Gerlego following the play. Put it home. 3-1, Toronto.
Well, the Leafs, Johnny on the spot on this one. Gerlego starts the play out by giving a great pass to Vive. The little flip pass goes right for the front of the net for the rebound. Right there. Resch making the first stop off of Vive, and Gerlego just buried that rebound. Pretty play by the 2 line mates, Gerlego and Vive. And that'll be another power play goal for the Leafs, and one of the New Jersey players will come back on the ice. But the Leafs still on a power play. 1:19 left in the penalty to Lever.
And Duras has been looking pretty good in the Leafs' first 3 games this season, and tonight he just draws an assist on that goal.
Playing very well, Bob. I know that Nicoluk and Maloney are very happy with Duras' play. After spending, excuse me, Bob, after spending all last year, of course, in Cincinnati, come back up to get a second chance here at the NHL and doing excellently well.
Salming nearly got through, but he was hip checked by Quenneville, sent flying. LaRocque will come out and bring it in back of the net. Right there, Benning waiting for it, and he starts away. 3-1 Toronto now. And here come the Leafs again to center. Anderson shoots it in. Resch out of the net. Stopped it back of the goal. It's cleared from the corner. Leafs keep it in. Flip shot. Good. Whoa, Podubny pulling the trigger again.
Well, Podubny's 3rd power play goal in 3 games. Great setup by Salming. You see Podubny there trying to make sure he got a hold of it, got the skate behind the stick, and redirected it behind Chico Resch. 4-1 Toronto. And this crowd being treated to quite an opening night so far, Bob Cole. Quite a reverse of opening night in Chicago for the Leafs, where they fell behind 3-0. And here, coming out with all kinds of steam in his first period and completely dominating New Jersey.
The spade worked on the opening goal tonight, scored by Anderson.
And the crowd loved it.
4-1 Toronto. going, Mick, they could ring up a dandy tonight.
Well, it was 9-8 last year. Whoever got the puck last won the game. Chicago, Toronto.
Orange pass hitting the line. O'Bank couldn't handle it, though. Quenneville comes back. 2:40 left in the period. 4-1 Toronto. New Jersey starting away. Tambellini missed the pass. At center, Ashton couldn't pick it up. Hammered off the boards and down the ice. It'll just miss the net, but goes across the corner of the crease, so the play continues. 2:20 left in the period. Toronto leading 4-1. Lob pass on the boards doesn't get out of the zone. The Leafs are checking again, and they keep New Jersey Devils bottled up inside that line. It comes in front. Look at this work now. O'Bank up the blue line. Slides it in. Comes to the side. Gavin goes in around the net. Gavin, some good work. Gets it back, but sets up a 2-on-1. The center ice Marini feeds it back in front. The shot. It dribbled near the goal line. Marini nearly got a stick on it, but it stayed out somehow. Gavin's long drive. Resch stopped that. 1:40 left in the period. Lorimer, long pass going down the ice. And back for it. Solving, and icing is called against New Jersey. Once again, another NHL update for you. And here's Brian.
We've got a tie game at Vancouver now. Remember the name Patrick Sundstrom. You're going to hear a lot about this Swedish rookie this year. Here he comes down the right side against Edmonton. A little backhand shot through the legs of Andy Moog, and it's tied in the game between the Oilers and the Canucks at the Pacific Coliseum, still in the first period.
A minute 30 left in the period, and Toronto leading by 3 goals. Now, what a great start to this home opener for Toronto Maple Leafs. Up by 3 in this first period. But of course, you can't sit back in something like that after just 20 minutes of play. How many times does that happen? After the first intermission, the other team gets fired up, and you think maybe with a 3-goal lead, you have it going too much your own way, and before you know it, a goal. Well, then another, and it's a new ball game.
The Leafs saw it the other night where they came back in Chicago.
5 nearly made it a 4-goal spread on that attempt. Stopped by Resch, though. 5 behind the net. Still dangerous with it back there. Takes a look. Out near the line. Goes the other way. Gerlego gets it in front. 5 bumped and knocked to the ice. Slides to the Leaf line. Juris has it with a minute left in the period. New Jersey coming in, but the Leafs covering up, and there's going to be a penalty. Gaborius Salmi.
I wondered they had to end it. On This Week in the NHL First Intermission, we'll preview some of the Canadian clubs in the NHL, and we'll show you highlights of games played earlier this week. First intermission this week in the NHL.
And look at Salming in the box for the Leafs with Adam and Hutchison, of course, serving their major penalties. I don't think there's much question about this call. There goes the foot by Salming right there. The right leg went out. And Ronnie Hogarth right on the spot to make the call. So with 58 seconds left in the first period, New Jersey on the power play. 5 skaters to 4.
And Vadnais, who has scored the New Jersey goal, got a weak shot this time from the line. It was blocked easily. Kept in by Foster. And funny, Larocque, pretty sharp. He saw that one. It was deflected, actually, in front of the net, but he grabbed it.
You know, goaltenders would probably prefer the defenseman let those go right through. Bob McGill trying to glove that puck, and it skidded through his glove and changed directions. Unfortunately, Larocque followed it all the way right into his chest. See some conversation about those defensemen and goaltenders. Boy, they certainly have a lot of conversation when those things happen.
Here's Vadnais missing the pass this time. It hopped over his stick. Comes to center. Foster is bumped. Gerlego didn't see it. Vadnais feeds the pass to the far side, and Lorimer comes across center ice. Leaves it for Vadnais. Vadnais stick handled in, and 5 broke it up. He just took it away from him calmly, and sending the New Jersey Devils back with that long clearing pass. For checking again, that was Gavin bumping heavily. Gavin near center ice now, trying to stop Malinowski. Can't do it. With 12 seconds left in the period, It's on the boards to center ice. Foster with 8 seconds left in the period. The far side, a long shot was deflected away as Broughton let it go. And the period is over. The two teams didn't know it, I don't think. They wanted to continue. But it's gone, and the Leafs racking up 4 goals here in the first period to 1 by New Jersey. And for sure, looked the better of the two teams in the first 20 minutes. They did not stop. And so the score at the end of the first period is Toronto 4 and New Jersey 1.
Join the movement to Molson Light.
You are about to witness a new definition in efficiency and design. With 4-wheel independent suspension and rack and pinion steering, front-wheel drive Mercury Lynx has such a high level of quality. It provides low scheduled maintenance and uncommon inner space. From the new fuel-saver model through to the 3-door and 5-door hatchbacks and wagons, Lynx defines efficiency and design beautifully. Mercury Lynx. Out of the ordinary, but not out of range.
They come from near and far with names like Bill and Frank and Joanne. But they all shared the same initials, G.E. And with those initials comes a special feeling of pride. The pride of bringing good things to life.
And now, from the Hockey Night in Canada Control Center, this week in the NHL, an inside look at the past week's activity throughout the league. Here's Dave Hodge with Brian McFarland.
Thank you, Dick. Welcome to This Week in the NHL. We're glad to be back and glad to have you back with us. And, David, let's look first at the Smythe Division tonight. Winnipeg has moved into some fast company there. Edmonton will be the favorites, I guess, and Vancouver is also a team to be feared.
Well, the Canucks, to begin with, are healthier than they were in last season's final. They should be better because of a couple of impressive rookies. And maybe most importantly, they begin with more crowd support than they've ever had.
Here in Vancouver, they're back waving the towels again, hoping to continue with the excitement that took our city by storm last spring as the Canucks battled through the playoffs. And for the man who first took towel in hand, it's pretty well the same team the Canucks went to the final with. The same team plus 3. Their big deal comes from Sweden. They've picked up Patrick Sundstrom, a smooth-skating, hard-shooting, non-Swedish style Swede, who they claim could be the Canucks' first superstar. Mo LeMay brings 68 goals from the Ottawa Juniors. Mark Crawford has found a spot after 2 years in the minors. Stan Smeel is the new captain, replacing Kevin McCarthy, but the leader continues to be the goaltender the city crowned as its king last spring. As Richard Berdure goes, so go the Canucks.
Here in Calgary, Flames general manager Cliff Fletcher first found his players a new coach in the offseason, then completed his purge on the old Atlantic Country Club. Even Willie Plett, the people's favorite, was chopped. And the list of newcomers is headed by goalie Don Edwards from the Buffalo Sabres and Doug Risebrough from Montreal. And the new approach belongs to Bob Johnson, a 15-year college coach at the University of Wisconsin.
I want them moving all the time, and I think it's catchy, it's contagious.
You know, the game is moving, and we certainly hope that the Calgary Flames are a fast skating team.
Most of us as players were frustrated with the results last year, and we're looking forward to having a good year this year. So, you know, I don't think any of us have any kind of negative response at all. It's going to be to Coach Johnson.
Calgary Flames with lots of new faces, lots of talent up front, but still loaded with suspects on defense and in the dressing room.
Here in Edmonton, the most famous new face belongs to Ken Linseman, a center the Oilers literally stole from Philadelphia in the offseason. Another highly rated newcomer is not the youngest Esposito brother, rather Jaroslav Puzar, a 10-year veteran of the Czechoslovakian national team.
Puzar is a 200-pound left winger, can skate and score. He's got experience. He doesn't get rattled.
Puzar debuted on left wing with Gretzky in the Oilers' first game on Tuesday and counted Edmonton's first goal of the season.
Linseman is definitely more physical. He's a very fast hockey player. He's a good scorer. He's averaged a lot of points over the last 2-3 years. He's a tenacious checker. He works hard, and he's kind of pain in the side for the opposing players.
So there's little question the Oilers have improved their firepower up front. Only time will tell about defensive adjustments necessary after an early playoff departure last year.
As for Mr. Gretzky, he got his first of the season last night in a loss to the Islanders. We'll return with more on This Week in the NHL in just a moment.
In the world of action watches, trust Seiko for advanced dual display technology even 300 feet beneath the sea. Trust Seiko for watches that display any of 6 timekeeping functions with a turn of the bezel. For alarm chronographs that even measure your pulse rate. Seiko watches and clocks, the most advanced performers in timekeeping. No wonder people trust Seiko more than any other watch.
Miss Green, do you plan to listen to that music for the rest of the day?
Sure do. Just put in the Energizer.
Of all leading battery brands, nothing outlasts the Energizer from Eveready. Nothing outsnaps it. Nothing outadds, outwalks, outplays, outtapes, outshines, outlasts it. Nothing.
If only Miss Green worked as long as the Energizer.
The Energizer, energize for life.
Long life.
Energize me.
NHL Highlights featuring the Play of the Week, brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
Opening night at the Brendan Byrne Arena in New Jersey, and the Pittsburgh Penguins have a devil of a time with the team everybody's picking for last place. However, the Devils score first. Team captain Don Lever gets the goal and keeps the hockey puck. Then Hector Marini puts New Jersey in front 2-0. He taps one in. Broughton and Ashton assist him. Kehoe got one back for Pittsburgh, and then Pat Boutet tied it in the second period. Kehoe got another for Pittsburgh, and then Malinowski scoring from Lorimer and Marini. A 3-3 tie. The Devils earn a point in their home opener.
The New York Islanders, after losing their opener in Vancouver, moved on to Calgary. And in the Calgary corral, Mike Bossy, maintaining an early season goal-a-game pace, puts the Islanders in front, waiting for a pass from Dennis Potvin, then making it look easy, sliding the puck past Don Edwards, in and out. 1-0 Islanders lead. It was 2-2 in the second period when Brian Trottier scored an easy one on Bossy's assist. Doug Risebrough, wearing the number 8 he made familiar in Montreal, takes the puck off Potvin, puts it past Roland Melanson, and it is tied. But Thomas Jönsson breaks the tie, and then John Tonelli scores the goal that stands as the eventual winner. On a breakaway, he beats Don Edwards as the Islanders beat the Flames 5-4.
And last night in Edmonton, the Islanders did it again. They picked up their second victory of the young season, a 6-4 defeat of Edmonton. They took a 2-0 lead, then Gretzky scored his first of the year from Coffey and Curry, made it look easy. Anderson came right back for the Oilers and tied it before the period ended. Nice setup here for Anderson. Tom Rolston put the Oilers in front, and then Mike Bossy, who's off to a good start, scored his third of the year from Goring and Langevin. Watch this pass off the boards. There goes Bossy sneaking in behind. Butch Goring, the old man on the Islanders, put them in front 4-3 with 4 seconds to play in the period. Nobody took him in front of the net. The Islanders outscored Edmonton 2-1 in the third and won the hockey game 6-4.
Now it's time for the Panasonic Play of the Week. And in this case, we're going to show you a winning goal from Vancouver's 2-1 victory over the Islanders on Tuesday night. A winning goal, or was it a winning goal? In the third period, Thomas Gradin takes a pass from Vancouver defenseman Neil Belland, fires the puck behind Billy Smith, but it appears to hit the post and never go over the goal line. The red light did not go on, signifying that the goal judge didn't think it was a goal, but the officials huddled and decided to say Thomas Gradin had scored, and that gave Vancouver a win. That's our Play of the Week, in this case, our controversial Play of the Week.
The Play of the Week has been brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
Give me a break.
We never go out anymore.
These days, you really do need a break.
And we've got a good one for you.
We've got it.
Gordy paid for all of this? Gordy?
Come and get it.
You can always go to McDonald's.
You do deserve a break.
Hey guys, we got enough left for some apple pie.
We've got your break right here. Come and get it.
When winter winds start to blow, this is where your heating dollars go. But Stanley weather stripping seals in heat, seals windows and doors tight and neat, shuts out drafts from the ceiling and wall, seals up your house almost anywhere at all. It's easy with Stanley. Just follow the guide to keep winter out and heating dollars inside. You could win $1,000 towards your heating bills. Enter the Stanley weather stripping contest.
It's easy to get enthused about the Winnipeg Jets' chances. They have an outstanding manager, a great coach, and last year's top rookie. Let's get a report now from Scott Oak in Winnipeg.
Prospect with the Winnipeg Jets is not a first-round draft selection or a European star. It is a seventh-round draft selection in the person of 20-year-old left winger number 19, Brian Mullen. Mullen grew up in the Hell's Kitchen area of New York with his brother Joey, now a valued member of the St. Louis Blues. Brian was first seen by the Jets as a member of the U.S. national junior team. The Jets virtually stole him in the 7th round of the 1980 draft. Experts say if he'd been drafted this year, he would have been one of the top 5 selections. Brian had been playing at the University of Wisconsin, but it was clear from the outset of training camp, thanks to performances like this one, that Brian Mullen is NHL material. A robust 5 feet 10 inches, 180 pounds, he is a natural goal scorer, and he'll start the season playing with another one. Mullen will be a line mate of Dale Howarchuk.
The Toronto Maple Leafs hope a better defensive record can get them a playoff spot. Bad news came early, though, in the form of Gary Nyland's knee injury. Mike Palmateer's knee is okay, though, and he's back to provide goaltending depth for the Leafs. Slava Duras helps on defense after spending last season in the minors. In the league opener, he set up a goal by rookie Walt Podobny. Peter Inachak is another Czechoslovakian to watch. He was impressed already. But, of course, the Leafs must count on the big three. Captain Rick Vive, after taking a pass from Bill Derlego, gets it back to Boreas Salming, and his goal in Chicago earned the Leafs their only point of the season thus far.
Here in the province of Quebec, the battle will be joined again between the Canadiens of Montreal and the Nordiques of Quebec City. In Montreal, they're talking about the new-look Canadiens, principally because of that big trade just prior to training camp. Ryan Walter, the captain of the Washington Capitals, is now a member of the Canadiens and under a lot of pressure to produce, I'm sure, as is his teammate, former teammate Rick Green. The Canadiens have a newcomer on defense. After the trade, they needed new blood, and Craig Ludwig, right out of the University of North Dakota, is going to be a starter with the team. The biggest question mark of all still has to be Doug Wickenheiser, who this year has to prove once and for all that the Canadiens did not make a mistake in drafting him number 1 in 1980. And Guy Lafleur has had his best training camp in the last half-dozen years, and people are saying the Flower can again score 50 goals. Up in Quebec City, they had their contract problems involving the Stastny brothers, who are the leaders of the Quebec Nordiques. But if the Stastnys are in a happy frame of mind and play the same way they did last year, the Nordiques will again be a powerhouse on offense, to be sure. Well, Paymon, hit by that big lawsuit in the off-season, is going to be another big man as he plays a full year in Quebec City. And again, Daniel Bouchard will be the goaltender for the Nordiques. Last year, Bouchard in the lineup, out of the lineup, sometimes happy, sometimes not happy. But that's Daniel Bouchard. He's colorful, and he's part of the Nordiques as well.
So far, all is well with the Stastnys in the scoring statistics anyway, and with the Montreal Canadiens with 2 victories and 2 starts. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
for the dreams you've grown up with and hold on to so dearly, for the promises you've made to yourself. Safe, secure Canada Savings Bonds. Your bond with the future. On sale October 25th.
Thank you. Oh, and remember, at Holiday Inn, you get our no excuses guarantee in writing. Everything in your room will be right, or we'll make it right. No excuses, or that night you stay free. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
Now, what other hotel chain gives you that guarantee? A guarantee that comes from every one of us at Holiday Inn to you, because we want to take care of you. We give you a guarantee, not excuses.
Panasonic, ahead of its time, with a smaller, lighter, 8-hour portable video recorder. A fully automatic color video camera that responds as quickly as the action unfolds. And Panasonic color television with the clear advantage of a CompuFocus Quintrix 2 lens. Purchase a selected video recorder, camera, or color TV now and receive at no extra cost a Panasonic Stereo to Go or AccuSet clock radio. See your participating Panasonic dealer for complete details now.
Tuesday, the Fifth Estate.
Gartner.
Award-winning current affairs.
Malling.
Lucid, compelling.
McEwen.
The Fifth Estate, Tuesday.
We have another goal to show you from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. Game between the Oilers and the Canucks, and Glenn Anderson got the goal for Edmonton late in the period, and it followed some strong forechecking by the Edmonton Oilers deep in the Vancouver zone. Watch now, Anderson, number 9 for the Oilers, takes over right about here. Swats at it once, gets it back. Brodeur is going to wish he had another chance to play this one. Here's the shot that beats Brodeur, and that put the Oilers in front 2-1 at the end of the first period. That's the way it stays at the Pacific Coliseum. Now, let's get back to the gondola. Here's Bob Cole and Mickey Redmond.
Thank you, Brian. And here it's Toronto Maple Leafs 4 and the New Jersey Devils 1 as we await the start of the second period. And, folks, you're looking at the new $1 million, $1.4 million clock at Maple Leaf Gardens. You talk about inflation, Mickey. In the late 20s and early 30s, when they were financing this building, about the same price as the clock is today.
Well, would you believe that that thing's got 24,576 give a dozen or two lamps in it?
At $6
bucks a pop. That's a lot of bulbs, isn't it?
Well, they're seeing a great opening for Leaf fans here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Anderson didn't take long to give them something to shout about. Here it is at 117, and then Benning at 14:06. Vadnais, a power play goal for New Jersey at 14:48. Derlego at 16:02, his first. And Podubny, his third of the season. He had 2 in Chicago on Wednesday, 16:46. Toronto out shooting. New Jersey 12-8.
Look at some out-of-town scores, Bob. Look at that score in Montreal. Chicago skating very well early in the season against the Leafs the other night, and right now against Canadians, leading 5-2. And, of course, that Vancouver-Edmonton score.
Buffalo and Quebec are tied at 2. The first period. Rangers and Pittsburgh are 1-1 in the first. Salming has 51 seconds left in his penalty as this second period is underway, and New Jersey, they have to, you might say, get a goal quick if they're going to do something with the Leafs tonight, because Toronto has been skating and forechecking very well. Here's Vadnais, who has scored the goal for New Jersey, sliding it in front. A shot by McMillan did not miss by much. The puck goes flying over the glass at the far side near the New Jersey bench. Looking at other scores around the league tonight, we give you that Buffalo-Quebec score. Calgary and Los Angeles on the West Coast. Hartford leading Boston 4-1 in a battle of New England tonight. Can you believe that?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know. Boston, I think, is hurting defensively.
with Ray Bourque going down, and of course Brad Park having problems with his knees again this year, and well, it's going to be tough for them. Looks like they're going to have to get some defensive help before it's all over. They got beaten their opener by the Montreal Canadiens 5-1 in the Boston Garden on Thursday night.
And here it's 4-1 for Toronto. With Salming getting set to come back on. He has 8 seconds left in his penalty as McMillan slides to center. McMillan gets up near the line. They'll go outside. Lever had gone in ahead of McMillan.
Bob, speaking of that Boston club, one of our old favorites and a lot of fans' favorites, Stan Jonathan, was sent down to Baltimore of the AHL just this week by Harry Sinden. So he seems to be unloading a lot of veterans over there. And a few more out-of-town scores. Pittsburgh and the Rangers 1-1 in the second. Washington-Philly 1-1 in the second. And Minnesota-St. Louis, no score in the first period.
Allison scored for Philadelphia. Baruch for Washington. Look for Washington to improve this year, Mickey.
Boy, they made, I think, a pretty good trade with Canadians, and they've got a lot of new faces over there. And generally speaking, in hockey, everybody feels they're going to have a much improved season.
Salming is back on now. Toronto 4 and New Jersey 1. The Leafs shoot it down the ice. This one will be icing. Coming back is Palmer, and icing is called against Toronto. Hutchison steps from the penalty box, so he's back at the far side of the New Jersey bench. They played just 1:19 of the second period. You look at Bunny Larocque, and as Mike Nicoluk says, he's number 1. He'll stay with him, but he's going to get Paul Matier a start soon, likely on the road. As Mike says, that's what we have him here for, so he'll be dressed and playing very shortly. The exciting, acrobatic Mike Palmateer is always a favorite here in Toronto. Told me yesterday he was more than delighted to be back home in Toronto. Palmateer. A Dubney for Toronto, jammed out of the play and knocked to the ice. And the Devils clear it to center ice. Salming has it, flipped it in wide of the net. They're called to the offside. They bring it back into the center ice area. Again, another NHL update. And there's a busy man, Brian McFarland.
Charlie Huddy has scored for the Edmonton Oilers against the Vancouver Canucks at the Pacific Coliseum. The Oilers had a power play. It was just over a second before Huddy took that shot. It seemed to deflect off Sundstrom's stick and into the net. So the Oilers lead it 3-1 early in the second.
Malinowski in his own zone, fed it back. Quenneville tried to move it out. Had a little bit of trouble. Now Palmer comes as far as center. His pass into the skates of Malinowski. He couldn't handle it. In a check, or Toronto lost it. Malinowski in for New Jersey. Malinowski gets a chance right here. Goes to the side of the net. Centered it in the crease. He's in front himself. Knocked flying by Salming, who made a good defensive move, and he fell too. Quenneville kept it in. Chopped it along the ice with his skate. It comes in front. Dwight Foster got it in front of the crease. It rolled in behind the goaltender Larocque. He didn't see it, but the Leafs cleared it. Now it's Anderson coming to center. Offside as he crossed the line. From Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
This 83 Ford pickup is demonstrating the pulling power of Ford's new 6.9-liter diesel engine. It's towing 10,000 pounds up a rugged trail with grades steeper than Pikes Peak. Ford's new 6.9-liter diesel is now available for Ford heavy-duty pickups and 4x4s. It's the most powerful diesel available in a pickup. 26 horses more powerful than its nearest competitor. Ford Tough. Ford Trucks.
There's the score. Toronto Maple Leafs with a 4-1 lead here in the second period. 2:32 gone. And Toronto full value for their lead. New Jersey, though, trying to get something going here in the early part of the second period. They get it up across the leaf line again. Into the corner, it comes off the boards to center ice. That's Kitchen back at his own line. Cleared it ahead. Murkowski lost it. He got it again. Murkowski shoots it in. Back of the net. Larocque went down, grabbed it with his glove. Now it's cleared along the boards, but not out. Wensink over there for New Jersey. Fired in wide of the Leaf goal. In after it, Murkowski got it back near the line. The Leafs tied up. Kitchen couldn't shoot it. There's a drive off the glove of LaRocque. And Boynestruck is hopping on it quickly. The Leafs having difficulty clearing it from their own zone now. That's due to the forechecking of New Jersey, so obviously McMillan has told them to come out and do some more heavy hitting inside the Leaf blue line, and so far it's paying off, even though they haven't scored, but they have had one or two pretty good chances.
Now, Ivan Vautour just about getting at it down in the left corner, Bob. I don't know if we'll have penalties. It looks like we will. Ron Hogarth makes his way to the penalty box area. Pile up in the corner. And Ivan Vautour with the gloves down. No punches were thrown, but looks like they'll probably get a couple of minutes apiece. John Wensink with a little tap of Vive as he goes to the box.
Roughing penalty. Vautour of New Jersey and Vive of Toronto Maple Leafs. So we have a total of 48 minutes called in the game so far.
And the other referees who paid their way to get in here tonight didn't think there should have been penalties called on that play, voicing their displeasure.
I'm Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond in the broadcast booth at Maple Leaf Gardens here in Toronto for the home opener of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They tied in Chicago last Wednesday. The next night dropped 3-2 to St. Louis. Nearly pulled that one out for the point, too. Here's a chance for Ashton. He took a shot, and that's off the arm of LaRocque. Boy, he has been sharp so far this season. Very early, of course, very young, but LaRocque looks steady.
And there's a look at a giveaway in the Toronto zone. A cardinal sin back in your own end, and New Jersey jumping right on it. And another good save, Bob, as you pointed out, by LaRocque. But that's something that you've got to try and avoid. Of course, at least with a very young defense, you're going to learn sometimes the hard way that you've got to hang on to that thing and eat it at times back in your own zone behind that blue line.
Broughton is number 24, has to leave the face-off. Ashton got it back to center ice. It's fired in by New Jersey's Vadnais. Hopping back quickly is Jim Corn in the corner. He was bumped on the boards. Leafs trying to move it out. Harris got it across the line in the center ice area. It's Hutchison trying to play it back in. He was bumped on the boards by Gavin. They have a few words. Stuart Gavin and Hutchison. Doesn't take much to get Big Dave going. Of course, that's why New Jersey picked him up. They want some more muscle.
Well, Gavin, not a big fella, 5'11", 185, the Ottawa native. Spent his junior years here with the Toronto Marlboros. Very willing to mix it up.
There goes Gavin, along with Harris, to the Leaf bench. Anderson comes back on with Inachek. Solving is out there also with Duras. Now New Jersey with the draw. With 4 minutes gone in the second period, it's 4-1 Toronto. Vadnais in his own zone. Starts to the line, slides at the center, and the Leafs grab it again. Anderson tried to feed it in for Solving. It didn't work. And Broughton from the corner for New Jersey. Anderson watching him. The pass goes to center ice to Ashton. Ashton flipped it ahead to Vadnais. Vadnais is stopped. Solving hammers one off the leg to center ice. And it's kicked away by Inachek. And New Jersey unable to solve the lead so far. Coming up to the 5-minute mark of the second period. 4-1 Toronto. And here's Vadnais. Dropped it back neatly. Hutchison closing in, didn't shoot it. It's knocked through the crease by the New Jersey Devils, and it comes back to center ice. Solving from center. Hangs on to it. At the far side, Duras brings it back this way. Inachek gets set, flipped it on the boards, and at the side of the net. Broughton for New Jersey can't clear it. Leafs stay on top of it now, inside the New Jersey blue line. Inechek, stick handling in there with it. Couldn't make a play, and Vatney will bring it out. Vatney's pass, stopped by Juris. He fed it ahead to Anderson. The high pass knocked down. Going to be a penalty to New Jersey coming in a check. It's set. Went in too far. He threw it. He went in too far for sure. Got it back in front, and it might have hit Salmon.
What a great play by Inechek. He had two players with him, at least 3-on-1. A delayed penalty being called against New Jersey. And what a great play Inechek made. He deked his way all the way to the side of the net and threw the puck out. Watch him. Fakes a shot, and out from behind Resch, and there's Salmi. Bingo. 5-1 Leafs. And that's the type of thing that we're going to see a lot of, I'm sure, out of Peter Inechek this year. Got Resch completely down and out. And there it is.
Now, Mickey, you wait till he gets his European buddy, Preacher, along with him. It's going to be a very effective and exciting trio.
Well, of course, Preacher with back problems out right now. Young Gary Nyland with that knee operation the other day. He'll be out for 2 to 3 months. And Serge Boisvert is out for the Leafs tonight also with a bad leg. He injured it the other night in Chicago on a check by Grant Mulvey.
Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Join the movement to Molson Light.
I was mentioning a moment ago about Preacher getting back into the lineup, likely playing with Inechek. Anderson, who's out on the right wing on that line now with Podupny, likely will go over again on the left side. It'll be interesting, I'm sure. Mr. Nicoluk will welcome Preacher back in, and he'll have it all figured out. But it's 5-1 at this stage for Toronto Maple Leafs at the 6-minute mark of the second period. From the corner, this is Lever for New Jersey. Just dumped it down to center ice. The Leafs in control of the hockey game at this point. Coming in, Quenneville. Pass to Lever. Lever going in, bumping with Boyne Struck, and the Leafs get a break coming down his 5. He has lots of room. Great speed. Passed it in front. Oh, Martin dragged to the ice. There'll be a penalty to New Jersey on the play.
Penalty shot, Bob.
Yep, we're getting it.
Penalty shot is coming up. Boy, oh boy, one of the most exciting plays in hockey. The folks realize it here at the building now. Ron Hogarth with the immediate point to center ice. Here's a look at another good breakout by the Leafs coming out of their own zone. A great play by Vive. Over to Martin. Watch the hook right there. He's in alone on Chico Resch, and immediately Hogarth pointed to center ice. And boy, this is probably the most dramatic play in hockey today. The folks now abuzz here in the building. And Donnie Lieber, captain of the New Jersey Devils, having a conversation with Hogarth now about why a penalty shot and not just a penalty. And you look at Terry Martin over by that Leaf bench.
Martin was the player who was dragged down with Vive steaming down the right side. He set him up. I thought for a moment Vive was going to shoot. But now, the puck at center ice. Chico Resch in the crease. Of course, he has to stay there. Now, here comes Martin. Up the line. Takes a look. Will he shoot? Yes! Stopped by Resch. Resch just stood there. He had Martin covered all the way. Martin gave it away, really. He had to shoot. He went straight in. Put it right at him.
Well, could have been dramatic, but looked rather matter-of-fact out there on this one. Terry Martin really not making any move to deke or anything, just sort of winding up and taking the wrist shot. I think he was trying to get that puck, Bob, up over the glove hand of Chico. And he stood tall in that net and made the save with a big left pad. But nevertheless, an exciting time in the game of hockey to watch that one-on-one all the way from the red line.
Who's got the upper hand, Mick, the goaltender or the shooter?
As a shooter in my day, I thought the goaltender's got the upper hand all the time.
Horn tried a long one, was kicked out. Horn again. Another penalty coming up. This one will be against Toronto, I believe. The New Jersey Devils, Wensink shooting it down the ice.
Where they go down here, Bob?
Icing, another fight started right below us at the bench.
This is Wensink. Higgins. Boy. Wensink and Higgins really going at it right in front of the penalty box.
I tell you, Higgins not doing bad with this.
Certainly holding his own. Not going to have to go very far to cool off. They're only about 15 feet from the penalty box. And both linesmen just standing back right now and letting them wear themselves out.
And they fall to the ice, so the linesman will go in.
Well, you know, that's the kind of thing that can happen when you got a game that's very close to being out of hand, being 5-1 Toronto at this point, and the game not half over yet.
Now, Mickey, nobody likes fighting in the game. Or at least we all hear day in and day out, but when they get back up, and you get Paul Higgins back on his skates as the linesman trying to get them apart, you're going to hear, I'll give you odds, that the fans here at Maple Leaf Gardens will give Higgins a big hand.
Well, I'm sure they will.
Higgins getting up. Are you listening, folks?
Well, a little bit of both that time with the boos for John Wensink, of course, being the visitor, and Higgins, they may go at it in the penalty box. Those boys down there better get out of there quick. Higgins standing up, jawing back and forth with Wensink across the three timekeepers. Remember a time here last year when Jim Corn had come over from Detroit a couple of weeks into a Leaf uniform, and he went right over top. I never saw three guys scamper so fast in my life. They got out of that box quick, and Wally Weir of Quebec and Jim Corn went at it in the penalty box. A couple of real heavyweights.
This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
We loved this old house at first sight, but it sure needed insulation. Then our building supply dealer told us about the lifetime of savings with Styrofoam SM brand insulation, proven for over 30 years. It's strong, light, easy to use, and should be covered with gypsum board. Great for basements because it can't get wet and soggy. It won't mildew or rot, so it's ideal outside, too. One thing I found, though, if it doesn't say Styrofoam SM, it isn't.
Bob, you talk about the fighting in hockey and not many people liking it, and that I think would be the case. I think the thing that they don't like the most about it is the milling around and the extra fighting that goes on. Frustrations do run high when you get fast pace of the game out there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with two guys squaring off and a good, honest fight. When it's over, go to the box and mind your own business. But I think in the past we've had so much extracurricular activities after two guys start to fight that it got very boring, and you get into 3-hour hockey games, which nobody likes to see. But I think a good one-on-one fight doesn't hurt anybody as long as it's a good, clean fight, and both combatants go to the box and mind their own business. As long as we don't have that brawling and gang fighting that we've had in the past years in the NHL. Higgins now leaving the penalty box and going over to the Leaf dressing room by the looks of it. He may have some equipment problems or possibly been cut during the confrontation with Wensink. To get that one down. Our statistician Eddie Milliken here. Boy, 2, 2, 2, 5, and 10.
You got 3 minors, the major.
Oh boy.
And the gross misconduct penalty, of course.
Did a lot of damage out there. High sticking, elbowing, unsportsmanlike, game misconduct, and a 5-minute fighting penalty. Or gross misconduct, not a game misconduct.
So Wensink comes out pretty well. For New Jersey.
Did you see anything out there, Bob, that
nope.
Could warrant a gross misconduct unless he said something to Ron Hogarth while he was at the penalty box?
I'm sure it was earned.
Saganuk is in the box as well. I think there was a penalty being called
before the
originally before the fight broke out, and I believe it was the Saganuk. Now It doesn't show on the clock up here, but Toronto right now playing one-man short.
And this is Broughton, 24. His shot. Off a skate. The Leafs shoot it down the ice. He's short-handed, of course. And New Jersey now with a golden opportunity. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left of those penalties to Toronto, with New Jersey having the man advantage and coming in. Broughton at the line, getting set. Played it over in front. The Leafs shoot it down the ice again. They'll just try to hang on now. They're leading 5-1. And if they can kill a penalty or two here, they feel they'll be okay. Fired down the ice this time. It'll be icing against New Jersey. That pass tipped at center ice.
I think what's happened out of all that mess, Bob, is that Seigenak is in the box for the Leafs right now, serving the 4-minute minor from Higgins, and I guess it was Higgins who was being called for the original infraction.
Exactly.
Before the fight broke out, which we'd have to say either be eye sticking or elbowing. We don't know which order they were given out. And so Seigenak sitting in the box, 3:16 left in his penalty. Of course, that means New Jersey has 3 minutes and 16 seconds of power play.
The delayed call, of course, was on Higgins. And then as the two players moved towards center, the fight started. Now New Jersey trailing 5-1. Stopped cold at center ice by Gavin, who feeds it back inside the line. With 12:20 left of the second period. Vadnais pass. Tambellini takes it up near the line and shoots it in. Larocque steadies the puck for Stallman. He ripped one on the boards, and it slides all the way down to Chico Reds. 2:45 left in the minor penalties. The Toronto Maple Leafs. So far, so good for the Leafs. Coming in is Malinowski. Still holds it near the line. In back of the net it goes. Tambellini feeds it off the boards to Vadnais. Back to him. Tambellini. Or Vadnais again. Went by him over on this side. A long shot right in front by Quenneville. Knocked down. Vadnais gets set. Lets her go. That was blocked by Larocque. Now it's fired down the ice again. And the Leafs doing pretty well with 2 minutes 10 seconds left of the Higgins penalty. Being served now by Seigenak as Stallman keeps it in for Toronto. Would love to get a face-off in that end. He does, as the play is called. With the score, Toronto 5, New Jersey 1. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Over the years, your changing fuel needs have caused changes in us.
Morning, Joe. Time for gasoline.
In 1939, Esso introduced their new premium.
Esso Extra, please.
With the post-war car boom, the need for gasoline grew. Then came lower-cost self-serve.
Fill her up. Yes, sir.
Unleaded gasoline.
Premium unleaded, please.
Diesel. And down the road, propane and future fuels. Anticipating your needs makes us better.
You make us better, you do. Esso.
Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond. The broadcast booth at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto with 11:20 left of the second period, and the Leafs up by 4 goals.
You mentioned Higgins handled himself well in that fight, Bob. He's not a little guy. 6'1", 195, a St. John, New Brunswick native. Handled himself very respectively with the big, tough John Winsing.
New Jersey with a man advantage. 1:50 left for the Higgins penalty. It's fired in. Off Corn. Into the corner it goes. And cleared immediately by Quenneville down the ice again. New Jersey Devils stymied by Toronto Maple Leafs. They near the halfway mark of the hockey game. Now up the far side. Broughton flipped it over for Lever. Lever feeds it in front. A backhand shot, then another block. Out from the blue line. Quenneville's drive is kicked away by Larocque. 5 nearly got a break. Still has a chance. Great shot. Put it right on, too. And it was stopped by Ress. 5 after his man in the far corner as New Jersey starts back. Lever dropped it. Quenneville's long pass stopped near center. Quenneville again with a minute left in the Higgins penalty. 5-1 Toronto. Up to center is Broughton for New Jersey. Lever with him. In back of the net, Larocque leaves it there. Little mix-up in communication, but now Larocque out again. Fired it on the boards for Harris. He couldn't clear it. New Jersey keeping it in. Now it's tipped near the line, but they still have it in. Hutchinson gets set. Feeds a pass in front of the crease. but it'll be cleared by Gavin just across the line. Broughton left it there. Hutchison coming in with 25 seconds left in the Higgins penalty. And the Leafs holding off the New Jersey Devils. They're up 5-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs shoot it away down the ice again. They change now with the puck going in behind Chico Resch and only 10 seconds left in the penalty to Toronto. Saganuk serving the Higgins penalty, gets ready to step back on. New Jersey coming in. Murkowski dropped it back. Nice play for Hutchinson. His shot wide. It's stopped by Murkowski again. Another shot. Rock down. Score. Puck got in across the line. They're arguing vehemently.
We're going to have a fight here.
He's got to get a penalty, I think.
He could. He could have, and he did get a penalty. Boy, that is not a very intelligent penalty for Salming to take. The puck is already in the net. You're not going to change the referee's mind at that point. Salming has taken a penalty. Boy, if New Jersey comes out and scores here in a power play, they're back in a hockey game. Watch what happens on this play. Bunny LaRocque down. The shot comes right onto his side. It lays right on his side. And right there, Donnie Lever scooped it right off LaRocque's hip into the net, and Hogarth right in position to make the call.
Salming, you see, at center ice, talking to the referee and the linesman, Norris. But he has been given a penalty. Moria Salming.
They have to change this hockey game around, Bob. There's still 9:15 to go in the second period. And now we have a 5-2 hockey game, and Salming will go to the box.
10:45, the time of the goal. Murkowski scored it.
You know, in all the years, Bob, that I've been going to hockey games and playing in hockey games, there wasn't once that I ever was able to change a referee's mind after he made a call. Here's another look at the goal right here. Now watch LaRocque go down, and the puck will deflect right up onto his right hip. There it is, right there, off his pad, onto his back, right there, and Lever scoops it in. Or is it Beautour, number 19, it looks like, standing right in the crease. It scooped it off the side of Bunny LaRocque. Saw the number 9. It looked like Donnie Lever, but the one.
Salming's penalty is a minor penalty on gentlemanly conduct. So whatever he said didn't go over very
get the
large
official
to the
announcement.
referee.
Excuse me, Bob. We'll have to get the official announcement. It looks like possibly that Murkowski could get credit for that goal, and if so, that shot then would have continued right up over top of LaRocque and dribbled down in behind him. We have to make sure we get an official on that.
Well, it's in, and it's number 2 on the night for New Jersey, and they now have themselves another power play with Salming off. Leafs rip it away down the ice, just wide of the net, and the New Jersey Devils will come back to organize on this power play. 1:50 left in it. Broughton hands it off, gets it back, out to Lever. He has to circle back with it. To Broughton again, back to Lever, broke it up, and Vine got in. Vine gets set, great play! Derlego shot is deflected. Great play by Vine. 2 big moves and set up Derlego in front. Derlego couldn't hook it away. Coming back, Tambellini. Vine picked it up and cleared it back down the ice. A minute 20 left in the penalty to Borje Salming. 5-2 Toronto Maple Leafs in this home opener for Toronto, near of the Gardens. Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond as Vatney goes in to play it to the right side. Vatney at the side of the net, couldn't get a pass away, and it was fired out to center off his stick by Derlego. A minute left in Salming's penalty. Broughton coming in again with Lever. McGill broke it up. He's on there with Korn, goes back to the net. McMillan intercepted, didn't know he had made a play, and then the Leafs shoot it away and down the ice.
Well, New Jersey not getting a whole lot on this power play. The Leafs doing a good job of staying right on top of them, breaking them up before they even begin.
Again, Toronto in control between the 2 blue lines. Feeds it back to Korn. Off the boards and down behind Resch again with 27 seconds left in Salming's penalty. No harm done yet. New Jersey giving it another go to center. That's Malinowski going in with Ashton. Ashton left it there, got it back again, comes in front, trying to jam it in. And out comes Bunny LaRocque, flying on it. And he hangs on. And once again, we have another NHL update. Here's Brian McFarland.
Late in the second period at Vancouver, Wayne Gretzky has scored for the Edmonton Oilers to put them in front 4-1. Look at this move to go around Delorme. Right here, Gretzky will drill it from just about here. Brodeur got a piece of it, but too late. It's in there, 4-1 Oilers. Gretzky gets his 200th career goal in Vancouver tonight in the second period.
All right, Brian, we were saying a little earlier that Gretzky was starting slowly.
Nice way to start slow. How'd you like to start that slow?
Wow.
Well, let's say he's not doing as well as he did last year. He's only got about 5 points in 2 or 3 games. It's going to be awful difficult for Wayne Gretzky to equal the record that he set last year. A lot of things have to happen on the plus side.
Gagne couldn't hang onto it, and the Leafs shoot it away. Salming is ready to come back on. He's on now. The penalty is over. And right away, Salming into the play. More checking. Poke checking the puck back in. Quenneville flipped it to the far corner. Comes back this way. Ashton after it. And a check after him for Toronto. The Leafs come up with it inside that blue line. Dubny tried to pick it up. Now it comes to McGill. He flipped it on the boards in the corner. It slides around the net. Can't move it out. Ashton got it to the line, and it's cleared back over center ice by New Jersey. Toronto Maple Leafs in full control and leading by 3, 5-2 with 6:35 left in the period. Out the far side, that's Gagne. Ripped it behind his own goal for Ashton. Ashton slides it ahead, a bad pass. In a check for Toronto, always there it seems with Anderson. Anderson trying to get near in front and was stopped. And the New Jersey Devils break out. Ashton from center shoots it in. And he goes for the change at the bench at the far side. On a Maple Leafs on the move. Juris shows some signs of handling the puck and got it to center. Gets it back. Good move by Inachak. He took a shot. Tipped away by Resch. 5:50 left in the period. Intercepted. Inachak. Look out. There's the shot. Another shot by him. No, back in front. Another drive. Oh, taken now. There's a pass through the goal crease. Leafs are all over the place. Resch without a stick. In front it comes. Now they clear it. How about that? They did everything, but no goal. Murkowski now after it inside the Leaf line. To the far corner. Hutchinson back near the line, waits for a pass. Didn't get back that far to him. Leaf player goes to the ice. That was Salming. Martin slapped at it. Inachak again. Takes it behind the goal. Juris in to help him. Murkowski went after it. They hold it on the boards. Now it comes loose. And 5 cleared it down the ice. 5 minutes left in the period. 5-2, Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs have to hustle back. Salming falling, missed it, but Korn picked it up. First Leaf to touch it, so icing called against New Jersey.
Mix up back at Bunny Larocque. Tempers flaring again on both sides. And this will be interesting, Bob. We're looking at the new rule here. Some players have come in past that imaginary line of 2 face-off circles. Probably, in all likelihood, unless that was an icing call.
It was an
I believe it was. The face-off would have then come outside the Toronto blue line with the New Jersey players moving in past that line.
This game is coming to you from Toronto.
What are you going to use it for? Everything Jennifer buys at garage sale. Sis, how do they get all this in that box?
For years now, Sid and the guys have helped each other out and admired their handiwork over an ex.
You know, guys, I think it'll stand forever. Just what I was... Hey, Rob. Yeah? What are these bolts for?
The good things never change. Molson Export keeps on tasting great.
Spares? Of course they're spares. Gotta have spares. Well, they always have spares, don't they?
With 4:49 remaining in the second period, the Leafs up by 3. And after that icing call, the face-off back inside the New Jersey line. New Jersey trying to get it going here in the second period. Had 2 or 3 fair chances. But just moments ago, what great excitement around the New Jersey goal. And most of it created by Peter Inachek, number 18 for Toronto. He is showing signs of handling that puck beautifully. A wizard with a stick. There's a play off the boards right at Chico Resch. 4:15 left in the period. The Leafs just cruising around inside the line. Wingers picking up wingers as New Jersey start out. Leafs forechecking throughout this game. That's Harris over there, along with Gavin bumping with his man. You see it? Gavin knocking it loose. Good forechecking by the Leafs again. Gavin up with it, took a shot, it bounced in through the crease. And Harris fell. Higgins went down. Now a long shot by Lever. Put it right on, and that's stopped by Larocque. Back there is Korn. Dumped it in the corner. Vadnais keeping it in. Grabbed by Tambellini, but he can't make a play. And with 3:35 left in the period, the Leafs dump it down inside the New Jersey line. That's Kitchen, number 26. His play to center missed McMillan. McGill tipped it back in for Toronto as the Leafs change. With a play going in deep behind the New Jersey line. And in back of the goal. Now the New Jersey Devils come out again. A pass ahead to Winsink, never reached them. Boymstruck knocked it down and fired it back in. Martin on with Vive and Derlego for Toronto. And there they are looking for it. Derlego goes over in the corner, tried to come up with it. Foster couldn't clear it. Now Kitchen fired it back. The Leafs get possession. They knock it in front. Derlego played it back of the net to Martin. Martin is bumped. And Vive grabbed it. Vive's pass went behind Boymstruck and comes all the way back to center ice. Boymstruck from center dropped it back to his own line. Vive couldn't play it up near the New Jersey blue line. Boymstruck missed a chance. Winsink comes in, lets it go at the goal post. Put it by Larocque on the stick side and rattle that one off the post. Right on. Derlego passed it over the line and Vive was trapped offside. Live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Out of nowhere comes a performance machine so sleek and sophisticated, it doesn't waste time on the wind, it slips through it. A machine so powerful, it out-accelerates Porsche 944 and BMW 320i. It is Capri, with its 5-liter V8 option. The exciting new Capri, designed to move you in a powerfully new way. Performance, selection, and personality to match yours. Mercury Capri, out of the ordinary, but not out of range.
Play just underway as the New Jersey Devils get it out across the line with 2:05 left in the period. Hutchison forced back again. Gives it to Lorimer. Up to center, and Anderson was there for Toronto to shoot it back in. 1:55 left in the period. 5-2 Toronto out front. Here we go again. This time, Peter Inachek. For Toronto is in the middle of this mix-up.
I think there's 2 New Jersey players, Bob, down there. One of them possibly could get a game misconduct. There are 4 players down there.
They got 2 leads.
2 and 2.
And 2 New Jersey Devils.
Like Hutchison and Inachek. And you know, earlier in his second period, Hutchison broke his stick over Inachek down in the other corner and got away with it as Hogarth didn't see it. And it's those same 2 combatants again, I think, who started that one out.
It was 3-on-3.
Or is it Salmon? Hard to tell here. 8-18. We've got Hutchison really trying to get at the Leaf player. We'll have to check and see who that is down there. It looks like number 8 for Toronto. Walt Podubny.
It is. I had Inachek in there, but it's Podubny. Sorry about that, Peter. Hutchison leaves.
Well, again, here's the start of it, Bob. I think it was Inachek originally, and right here where he went in to check Dave Hutchison, right there. And you see the elbow come up, and that's what starts the whole thing off. Right there. Here we go. But nevertheless,
tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
People trust Seiko technology for bold sports watches that perform brilliantly, even 100 meters beneath the sea. People trust Seiko for slim dress watches with every timekeeping function you'll probably ever need.
People trust Seiko for watches that are as finely crafted as they are technologically advanced. In fact, people trust Seiko more than any other watch.
Well, Bob, we should tell the folks here that the second intermission, Dave Hodge will be chatting with Don Lever, the captain of the New Jersey Devils, and 19-year-old first-round draft choice Gary Nyland of the Leafs sitting out, of course, with that bad knee. And our NHL update will have games in action from elsewhere.
Big game on the coast in Vancouver tonight. Edmonton is there. Have been and will be showing you highlights. And Chicago and Montreal are hot and heavy tonight.
They sure are. We got an update out of Montreal that the man they call the Flower in Quebec has the Tour de Chapeau in that game. It's now 5-4 Chicago. They love to say that down in Montreal.
Can you translate that for me, Mick?
3 goals, of course. And they're looking for a lot of those 3-goal nights out of Guy Lafleur this year after coming off a couple of injury-ridden seasons, but he's off to a pretty good start.
Everybody is saying, Mickey, that it's going to be a big year for Guy Lafleur. Attitude seems to be straightened out. Reported in top shape.
A lot of people felt that Lafleur may be finished, but I'm sure that he's a long way from finish with the talent that man has.
Here in this game of the second period, 1:45 left. 5-2 Toronto. Coming in, Malinowski spinning around inside the line. Salming was not to be fooled, though. Took him in on the boards. Duras, a pass along the line. Derlego swinging away with Vibe. Vibe faking the shot, tried to go in. Resch coming out of the net. And the New Jersey Devils get away. Malinowski to center. He's going in with Murkowski. Here's a chance for Malinowski scoring. He was allowed to roam in a little bit too far. And the New Jersey Devils showing signs that they are not out of it yet.
Well, it's a big goal for New Jersey to score with only 1:15 to go in the period. I think if you watch closely on this play, there's Malinowski going by Duras. This deflects off a Leaf skate, I believe, in front of the net and changed directions and went by Bunny Larocque. We can see it from this angle behind the play. The backhander from Malinowski right there. Now watch it. There's the deflection. It's hard to see if it went off. Looks like Billy Derlego in front. Or Murkowski for New Jersey. We'll wait and see what we get on the call. Right now, the goal has been credited to Malinowski.
It was Malinowski, of course, who took the shot as he roamed right into the slot area and let it go.
If that be the case, then, Bob, it would have to have gone off a Toronto defenseman. It definitely changed direction because Bunny came out of the net to cover that with his trapper, and all of a sudden that puck was flying by on his blocker side. And on the goal by Malinowski, Chico Resch got an assist. All the way from the other end.
1:06 left in the second period. Toronto now, the lead cut to just 2 goals. That's Resch stopping it behind the net with a minute left in the period. It's Lorimer behind the goal starting out. Lever to the line. Lever comes to center, shooting it in. Coming back quickly is Jim Corn for Toronto. Goes back of the net, 45 seconds left. Long pass in behind. Gavin and Resch pushed the pass ahead. McMillan was bumped by Corn at center. That allows McGill to go back and pick it up for Toronto. 30 seconds left in the period. To the far side, the Leafs bring it back out. A pass went in behind Gavin, and Gavin just got rid of it near center ice. But Corn hopped on it quickly. Look out for Corn. He goes in. Got a pass back in front. Gavin had to dump it behind the net. Resch out of the goal. 15 seconds left in the period. Penalty coming up.
Well, we're going to get a penalty, Bob, definitely to Chico Resch for that big goal stick up there. And I do believe Jim Corn's going to go as well, although he's already over in the Leaf bench trying to hide from Ron Hogarth. But I think we'll see him come back across the ice as Corn went in, and a little extracurricular there with Chico behind the net. Right there, you see Jimmy with the glove up in Chico's face.
Corn will get the penalty undoubtedly for elbow.
I'll tell you, as big as Jim Corn is, you don't want to fool around with those goaltenders with that big stick back there. They can do an awful lot of damage. And Chico's not afraid to use it. we're going to have another look at the goal by Malinowski, and let's see how it changed directions and off of whom, if we can. There's a look at the guys going in front of the net. And all we see is the puck coming back towards Larocque. You see Larocque moving to the trapper side. He's moving to his left, and all of a sudden that puck is redirected past his right pad. Corn goes for elbowing, and Chico Resch for high sticking, I believe, Bob?
Slashing, I believe.
Slashing?
Close enough, Mickey.
Well, nevertheless, you can use that big stick, whether it's high sticking or slashing. It can do the same damage.
So Lorimer is over to serve the penalty for Resch. And we have only 12 seconds remaining in the period.
The penalty box has got a lot of action there tonight.
Yeah.
This fella's got enough to worry about with the new clock in the building, how to make all those bulbs work and all that writing out there.
He's working so far.
Boy, they had this clock just barely working before the game. They had it down on the ice, and I guess it's also equipped with a new hydraulic system that allows them to raise it and lower it in a very short period of time. And there's a look at it.
It looks great. We're moving ahead. Mr. Ballard says we're moving ahead.
Well, there comes an extra puck on the ice. Folks having a bit of fun here at the Gardens tonight. Oh, boy.
Just 12 seconds left in the period. Derlego will try to hook it back. Salming is poised just inside the line and just outside. We'll picture at the moment.
Badney trying to sneak into the backfield there, Bob.
It went back all right, but behind Salming and got to center. 7 seconds left. It's tipped in by Derlego. 4 seconds remaining. Grab behind the goal by Badney. That'll do it. The period is over. But the Toronto Maple Leafs hanging on. But the New Jersey Devils trying to fight back into the game. They get within 2 goals. So the score at the end of the second period is Toronto 5 and New Jersey 3.
Boy, you guys are getting good at that. I mean, you just zip through those logs. Nothing to it. You hardly keep up with you guys.
Yeah, we noticed.
So when you do catch up, we'll be waiting at the camp.
Experience of Canada's largest real estate network to work for you.
North America's #1 top seller, Century 21.
Corrosion. It's gonna destroy your engine. It's only a matter of time. Because today's engines have many alloy parts, including aluminum, that need special corrosion inhibitors. Conventional antifreeze can't do much to stop this corrosion, but new Perma-3 from Canadian Tire can. Perma-3 can give your car a fighting chance. Perma-3 antifreeze from Canadian Tire helps stop corrosion before corrosion stops you.
He's in trouble again. Lou Ciccone, a man with vision. Some people think he's crazy.
Look, I'm not crazy. I'm just seeing things.
The new season starts Wednesday, October 20th.
The Leafs were sailing along with a 5-1 lead. Now it's a bit of a different story after 2 periods as the Devils scored twice to make it 5-3. And the New Jersey Devils broke into the NHL earlier this week with a 3-3 tie against Pittsburgh. The honor of scoring the first goal in the franchise's history went to their captain, Don Lever, and I guess that puck will have a prominent place in your collection.
Oh, Lefty picked it up right away. It's going to the Hall of Fame, so it will take my son there someday and show him.
Don, if that is an individual highlight already for you, the highlight for the team had to be last night when you put 19,000 people into the arena and beat the Rangers. It must be different as well as very nice for a team that was used to crowds of 5,000 in Denver.
Yeah, definitely. That's four home games for us last year. It was hard work, a lot of hard work, and I think it showed in the first period. We were awful tired. It was a hard-fought game last night. It was like a playoff game, and at times we didn't know who they were cheering for, the Rangers us, but I think at the end of the game we certainly won ourselves some fans.
One look at your lineup tells us that this team isn't really a whole lot different from the Colorado team, so if it's to be better, the new site, New Jersey, has to have a lot to do with it. Now, I've already said, and everybody realizes, you're going to have more people watching it. What about the stability of the franchise? What does that do for the team?
Oh, that helps quite a bit. I think with Billy McMillan taking over, he's a very good man, and he's made us work quite hard through training camp. It's the worst training camp I've been through in 10 years. We've been skating. We haven't had a day off yet, and I think it's working out for us. We're in pretty good shape, and I think the difference from last year is they come out and they lost about 20 games in a row. They only won in the first 20, and this year we have more confidence, winning a tie already in 2 games, and we're just working hard, and I don't think we're going to give up tonight. I think it's still a 20-minute game, and we're a little tired at first, but we're coming on a bit.
You would be classified as more aggressive from what I've seen tonight than the Rockies were. That team got shoved around pretty well, but it's not the case this time.
No, we're in a pretty tough division, and we added quite a bit of muscle, and it's the way we got to play the game. We don't have that many goal scorers or anything. We're just hard workers, and that's the way we're going to play the game. The Leafs sort of took our style away from us in the first period. They threw a puck in, they played real well, and we sort of got hurt in that early power play, but you know, it's still a 20-minute game, and hopefully we'll come back.
A lot of people are wishing the Devils good luck. I know that the league wants the franchise to be as successful every night as it was last night, and of course some wins on the ice are going to help that too. Thank you, Don. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Captain of the Devils, Don Lever. Coming up next, the Leafs' top draft choice, who is unfortunately not in action tonight and won't be for a while, Gary Nyland, as Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment.
35 ways to become more effective with long distance. Your reactions, please. Jordinger?
Masterpiece, boss. Great tips on confirming orders and correspondence.
Big B?
Profound, Chief. Everything I want to know about improving customer service with long distance.
Armbruster?
Chock full of ways to boost sales, but what's in it for you, boss?
I think this is one book we can all judge by its cover.
Call toll-free 1-800-268-6364 for your free copies. When you're going to be in the spotlight, don't you want an antiperspirant that goes on dry, fast, and easy? Try Menon Speed Stick Plus. It's not wet, not sticky, and it goes on fast and easy because it's wide and smooth and solid. Speed Stick Plus gives you long-lasting protection against wetness and odor. You can count on it. Menon Speed Stick Plus Antiperspirant from the makers of Speed Stick, Canada's #1 stick deodorant.
Did you play Haunted House? It's a game that's new. Did you play Asteroids and Super Breakout 2? Look at Missile Command. Did the aliens land? Did you play a game from Atari? Have you played Atari today?
Atari has more video games than anyone. Now, with the purchase of an Atari video computer system, you will receive as a bonus an Atari Asteroids game cartridge free. You can see your participating Atari dealer for details.
The remarkable Philishave with the lift and cut system. 45 rotary action blades, every one of which has a unique lifter that gently lifts the hair while the cutter behind shaves it closer. Philishave from Philips. Now you don't have to get wet to get close.
Leafs 5 and the New Jersey Devils 3 at the end of 2 periods of play. Back in June when the Leafs drafted Gary Nyland as their first selection, we knew we'd be talking to him on their home opener, but we didn't know that his leg would be cast in plaster, and of course, neither did he. What's this done to your optimistic outlook to a rookie season in the NHL?
Well, it's going to make it a little bit tougher, and it's, you know, it's kind of hard on my nerves and on my whole system, but it's, you know, I've never been hurt before, and this is the first time, so there's a first time for everything. Let's just hope it's the last.
Well, you have nothing to compare this to then, and I guess if you want to know how difficult this is going to be psychologically, you've got to ask somebody else, right?
Yeah, well, there's been a few guys that have had the knee problems, you know. I know Gord Kluzak, the #1 pick overall, had it, and he came back about 5 months after, and he's doing fine now, so it's just a matter of time. I'm just waiting for the day that they say that it's healed and you can start lifting weights with it, and I'll be back before they figure.
What's your recollection of how it happened?
Well, it happened in the last shift against Quebec. I guess it was our 6th exhibition game, and I just brought the puck down into the Quebec zone and went to the corner. And I went to hit one of their players. I jumped up, and as I came down, I pushed it in the wrong way or something happened. But it has never been the same since. But I got it done, and it's done now, and let's just hope it's okay.
I know the Leafs were very pleased with the way you'd been playing until this happened. Were you?
Well, I was confident, and I was getting more confident every game, and I figured that I had improved over each game up until the Quebec game, and you know, I'm just, yeah, I'm just concerned about the knee. I just hope it's all right.
The Leafs have impressed some people with their games in Chicago and St. Louis, and in parts of tonight's game. As you watch them, you have to be maybe a little more confident about joining this team than you were beforehand.
Oh, I think, you know, all I heard last year was negative things about the Leafs, but I think they're a new club. They got some new people, you know, and with Mr. Nicolak and Dan Maloney and behind the bench, they're doing a good job. I think the Leafs will surprise a few people this year.
Well, we're sorry you can't be in uniform to conduct this interview, but we're happy you're here anyway, and thanks for struggling in, and
okay.
Keep the knee as good as you can have it as soon as the recuperation begins with the cast-off. Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment.
Ford Escort, success car for very good reasons. Escort has nimble front-wheel drive, four-wheel independent suspension, and great fuel economy. No wonder Escort sales are jumping over most big cars, small cars, foreign cars, domestic cars, over cars of all shapes and prices.
Throughout the Yukon, the Western Northwest Territories, and Northern BC, 20,000 subscribers depend for telephone service upon Northwest Tel, a CN company. 1 million square miles of wilderness is a tough place to be in the phone business, and it takes one of the world's most sophisticated telecommunication systems to do it right. The number of people we serve is small, the distance is vast, and the difficulties enormous. Yet Northwest Tel pays its own way because it's run efficiently. CN, in business for Canada.
The Chicago Blackhawks got off to a very fast start at the Montreal Forum tonight, scored 5 first-period goals, and then Guy Lafleur, off to a good start this year, got a spectacular goal, his third of the night, and of course Montreal is right back in it now 5-4. Watch this play by the Flower, Guy Lafleur, as the Canadians come storming back. The Chicago Blackhawks, a team to be reckoned with this year, we're off to a good jump on the Canadians at the Forum tonight. Well, let's go back to the Forum now and check on the action between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Montreal Canadiens. We'll hear from Danny Gallivan along with Don Cherry and Dick Irvin.
And not playing aggressive, and it's still 5-4, but the pattern is just the same as they did against Toronto. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the second period. Hunter in over the line. Wiskowski was doing the checking on him. Dow keeps it in. There's the shot. That was free. But Fox did an excellent job there. He cleared Gainey out of there with a solid body check. You probably caught that as you saw Gainey go down. You've got to have somebody in there clearing out that front of the net, haven't you, Don? Bouchard and Yurdo a long time ago used to do it. So the play stopped for a face-off in the center ice area, 47 seconds. That's an art in itself. You have to take the guy out of there and get him out of there without getting the penalty. Anybody can go and knock the guy down. Good guy takes him out. Robinson takes him out without getting a penalty, better than anybody in the league.
Well, Grapes, they called you Grapes. Is it true that you have a book coming out?
I have a wonderful book coming out.
When is it coming out?
Thank you for mentioning it. October 27th, somewhere around there anyhow, and it's Blue and I on the cover.
And don't tell me the title is going to be The Wrath of Grapes.
No, we changed that.
Now the puck goes bouncing in over the glass in that area to the right of the Canadiens bench. 42 seconds.
We deal exclusively at the start. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
With that 7th man on the ice.
You mean the game that Lafleur got that goal?
Yes.
I thought you'd want to forget about that.
I know, but they made me.
There's a long shot by Murray. 34 seconds left. Wilson shooting it in, knocked down by Robinson. He cleared it ahead to Wickenheiser. Lafleur's on the move. He had to put on the brakes.
Walter going after it in the corner. Murray watching him. It's centered. And Higgins. I'm impressed with this tall, rangy right winger. This fellow here, Higgins, can move with that puck. Now Higgins tries to center it. Robinson feeding it ahead with 10 seconds. The final rush for the Canadians. Wickenheiser circling to the far side. Drops it over. And now Marsh coming to center. Takes the shot with time running out. So the score at the end of the second period. Chicago 5, Montreal 4.
If one store wants to be Canada's sports shoe headquarters, they'd better have all the winners. Nike, Puma, New Balance, Adidas. The Bay's got them, all the winners, at very competitive prices. So if you're looking for sports shoes, come to Canada's sports shoe headquarters. Come on, Canada, meet you at the Bay.
Dick, yeah. Hey, Tony, Bill. Hey, want to borrow my crane? Give us a hand, will you? Hey, guys, I got to get these home to die.
For as long as they've lived on the same street, Dick and the boys have helped each other out and shared some X.
It's never going to make it there on the
Don't worry about it.
Hey, guys, why don't we just leave it here till tomorrow?
Why don't we leave it here for good?
Wouldn't hurt your game any.
Thanks a lot.
Molson Export keeps on tasting great.
You guys are really slow.
Next Saturday on Hockey Night in Canada, the Canadians are home at the Forum to the New York Rangers, coached by Herb Brooks. Rangers at Montreal is one of our Hockey Night in Canada presentations, and at Maple Leaf Gardens, a Norris Division battle between the Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks. 2 games next Saturday, Rangers at Montreal and Chicago at Toronto.
Toronto Maple Leafs 5 and the New Jersey Devils 3 as the teams are back on for the start of the third period. The scoring in the second, Salming 5:27, Murkowski 10:45, Hutchison and Lorimer assisting. Resch got an assist on Malinowski's goal. So it's 5-3, getting ready for the start of the third period. The shots are even over 2 periods, 17 apiece. Out of town tonight, Montreal roaring back, as you saw. Edmonton leading Vancouver after the second, 4-1. Shutout, Winnipeg over Detroit, 8-0. Staniowski recorded that shutout. Boston and Hartford. Boston coming back now on the West Coast. Calgary at LA. Philadelphia over Washington 2-1. And Mickey, another good one for Minnesota and St. Louis. They're tied 1-1 in the second. The Rangers seem to be getting it going again. They lost to this New Jersey team 3-2. Before 19,000, they said 200 at Meadowlands.
They're used to playing in Colorado in front of 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people, and John Lever alluded to, it's a great feeling to have a building full like that. Of course, New Jersey and the Rangers very close, and a lot of Ranger fans in that New Jersey arena, but I think by the end of last night's game, they were cheering for New Jersey, and I guess it was a whale of a hockey game for both clubs.
2 Leafs are out of this game now. Podubny, third man in the second period. The game misconduct. And Higgins, gross misconduct. He's out.
Bob, a gross misconduct. Also, not only does he have to sit out the rest of the hockey game, but he receives a $100 fine and have to possibly go in front of the president of the league, or at least the president will look at the infraction to see if there's any further disciplinary action.
So right now, in a check, and Hutchison get ready to step back on. Now they're 4 skaters aside out there. 5-3 Toronto into the third period, and Duras leads at the center. A neat play on the right side. 5. A shot right on, but covering on the angle was Resch. Comes back to the blue line. There's a drive by Salming. That's knocked away by Chico Resch. And again, the Leafs break it up near center ice, and Salming waits for the Leafs to come back on side. Vibe was slow getting back out. Now the pass ahead to center. Lego to Salming. Vibe with him. Salming going in. A pass to Vibe. From there, he passed it back in front to Lego. He couldn't get around Chico Resch, who had gone to the ice and broke it up. Solving is back with Duras. Duras pass near center for Derlego. Derlego in with a shot, and Resch had to move quickly to glove it. A good drive from just inside the line. Long pass off the boards going down the ice. Stopped by Larocque easily. Boimstruck feeds it behind the net. Into the corner. Benning sliding it ahead. Now the Leafs get it moving again to center ice. Broken up very quickly, though. And it's hammered back in by Murkowski for New Jersey. Minute 40 gone of the third period. 5-3 Toronto. Coming out. This is Inachak. Got the center with the pass to Boimstruck, who failed to hang on to it. And Palmer for New Jersey. He's pushed off the puck by Anderson. Anderson still looking for it. Loses it to Lever, and Palmer drops back, slides it in front of the goal. Inachak trying to catch his man. He did, he fell, and there's going to be a penalty. Hutchison, I believe. From Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Most people would say Jack Campbell is a fortunate man. He has a loving family, a good job, and a nice house. But his paycheck just doesn't go as far as it used to. So why would Jack decide to spend $300 insulating his attic with fiberglass pink? He did it for the money. The money he'd save on his heating bill, and the money he'd get back from a government grant. Fiberglass pink insulation. There's only one good reason to do it. Do it for the money you'll save.
Well, Dave, Hutchison and Peter Inachek been going at it all night long, and Hutchison, a very obvious penalty there with that stick up around the throat of Peter Inachek. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
That comes at 1:56 of the third period. Now the Leafs with a man advantage. Derlego on the draw, but Martin was tied up and couldn't move on it. Lever backhands it in. Leafs go back and get ready to move it. Salming starts to the left side to Duras. He's coming out with Salming going to the right now, but the pass went up to Bill Derlego, who has to circle with it. Derlego nearly lost it there. He did. McMillan, good work for New Jersey. Play to the left side. Quenneville spun around. He went flying. And the Leafs are back. Now Salming and Vibe get together. This is Vibe to center. Lever chasing him. Vibe shoots it in. Here comes Martin on this left side. Martin looks back near the line to Duras. Into Martin again, and Duras knocked it down. Shoots it to the corner behind the net. Resch stopping it. Here's Martin. He nearly jammed it in the empty net with Resch out for a second. Duras stopping McMillan. Duras feeds it in. Vibe, let her go. It bounced right down to Resch. On the goal line.
No goal.
And a high stick making contact, so they'll bring it back.
That was a real ping-pong play there. Vibe with a bullet drive. Patented Ricky Vibe shot from that right wing. And Resch got the trapper on it. Sort of threw it up. There's the shot. And watch this. He throws it up over his head. And I think it may have been Anderson coming in, knocked it down. And it did go in, I think, but Hogarth there to make the call. A high stick on Toronto's part, and therefore the face-off all the way back to the left of Bunny Laurent.
Hutchison has a minute left in his penalty.
Should mention, Bob, too, for the baseball fans out there, the last report we've had, Atlanta leading St. Louis 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. So after a couple of rain delays, they're finally getting that second game in.
Have you got your money on the Nets here?
I'll tell you, that's a tough one.
Lorimer's shot away wide. Nearly took the head off the referee, Ron Hogarth. Bullet drive. Just missed him. Out to center comes Saginaw. Not used a lot tonight, but he's on there now. The buzzsaw. Saginaw, number 7. There he goes back of the net. The play comes to Benning. Benning, Saginaw. Saginaw along the line. Waits for a relay to come into him. Saginaw in the corner, waiting for it. I had a chance, but Benning decides to carry on. Benning behind the net. Into the corner it goes. Anderson whipping it around to the side of the crease in front of Benning. Stepped at it. And it hit a leg and bounced away. Saginaw kept it in. Leafs with pressure on. New Jersey again. Vadnais picks the opening, gets it to center. Off the stick of Salming, it goes back. 4 seconds left. In the New Jersey penalty as the Leafs come in. Saginaw gets set, dropped it back. In a check, winding up. Nice shot, and a good save by Resch. Just past the 4-minute mark of the third period. New Jersey trying to fight back into this game. And here they come. In back of the net goes Ashton. Back to the line. Quenneville's long shot is wide. From this side, Palmer keeping it in. In front of the net, it's slashed away by Salming, and it rolls down the ice.
New Jersey trying to put a little pressure on here, trailing by 2, 15:30 to go in the hockey game.
Coming out is Quenneville, slides an easy one in for Larocque. In after it is Marini, got it back to Quenneville, a low shot wide of the net. Bounces all the way back inside the New Jersey line. They're near the 5-minute mark of the third period. That's Gavin in forechecking with Harris. Harris gets a pass back, McGill closing in. Can't get a shot away though. New Jersey trying to clear it, they do. Marini gets it out to center ice for Ashton. Ashton's long shot knocked away by Bunny Larocque. And again, McGill for Toronto. To the line is Harris at center. Gavin coming up on the play. Gavin, the first one in. Left it for Harris. Harris couldn't move it. Now he gets another chance. Centered it, and Resch had that tape. Comes back to the line. McGill might get a drive away. And he whistled one off the net. Just missed the short side. Another long shot. And the Leafs line adding more pressure now. Adam getting in the slot. Waits for the pass. It didn't come. He comes over to help himself. And the New Jersey Devils get it to center. Malinowski clearing it. Ashton shooting it in. And Larocque out of the net. During the 6-minute mark of the period, 5-3 Toronto. That's Foster, bumped near the line by McGill. Fired back in his own zone by Murkowski. New Jersey shoot it down the ice and Korn back quickly for Toronto. Salming on the boards to center. Salming logging a lot of ice time again tonight, so what else is new is Larocque. Had one bounce in front of him. They're always dangerous. Murkowski got back to the net, got it in front. The shot went off Salming, hit the side of the goal. Now the drive for the line, he scored! Lorimer let it go. It was deflected in front of Larocque. And Nicky, we've got a new game now. It's Toronto 5 and New Jersey 4.
Well, that persistent forechecking in New Jersey finally paid off, Bob. That puck again was deflected in front of Bunny Larocque. We'll have to wait and see who actually got it. It was Dwight Foster and Vautour, Yvan Vautour in there. And there's a look at it. It's hard to tell. It looked like it deflected off of somebody, possibly a Leaf defenseman again. Look at it right here. And it was, by the look of it, was Boreas Salming coming across the front of the net. It looked like that puck hit the inside of his right glove and redirected right into the top corner. And New Jersey right back in the hockey game.
Here's Anderson. Saginaw is in front of the net. The pass was intercepted by Resch. He cleared it. New Jersey on the move. One man back. Coming in quickly. Vautour gets it in front. Can't shoot it. Foster went in after it. And Anderson was back to pick it up right in front of his own goal. Weaves his way outside the line. Comes to center. Pretty good on this shift. Anderson's long shot wide of the goal. Duras couldn't keep it in. Nearing the 7-minute mark of the third period. Salming trying to break through himself now. Salming into the corner was bumped on the boards. And it's cleared to the far side along the boards. And New Jersey's Vadnais gets it up to center ice. Salming broke it up. Vadnais again. Vadnais coming in. Tried to go in. He was knocked flying by Salming. In back of the net. McMillan chasing it. McMillan on there, keeping it in for New Jersey. Lever gets in front. Intercheck had him covered. It comes near the line, but not out. Lever going after it now, along with Tambellini. Tambellini is bumped. Lever hooked it free. Into the corner, McMillan. Tried to get it back. McMillan again couldn't center it. Another shot at it. And Intercheck is back there for Toronto, holding it with a skate now. Tambellini and McMillan all over him. He's trying to get a face-off, but they work it loose. Back into Lever in the slot area. Lever spinning around. Leafs can't move it out. Salming went down on one knee. McMillan keeping it in. New Jersey trying to tie this hockey game. Down goes Larocque, and he hangs on to it.
Great stop by Larocque. New Jersey all over the Leafs in their zone.
Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Everywhere, people are discovering the variety of Amway quality products without going shopping.
My laundry looks great with Amway SA8.
Nutrilite food bars by Amway get me through the morning.
Artistry Cosmetics and Jewelry by Amway get me through the evening.
Amway has it all.
Shop the world of Amway, so easy to do.
And there's a welcome to Hockey Night in Canada, beginning our 31st season, bringing you hockey from coast to coast in Canada. And I'll tell you, we're going to do our best to give you good shows all this season, too.
You haven't been around that long, have you?
31. Sure have. You, too.
Veteran of the broadcast booth, Bob Cole.
The Leafs now, with a big lead in this hockey game at 1 point, find themselves up by just 1 goal as Adam goes in with Gavin. His shot is blocked. New Jersey coming to life here in the 3rd period. Malinowski on the boards, trying to bring it out. Intercepted by Gavin. He got it in front, but Hutchison was back there. He gets it up as far as center ice. And the Leafs, Harris played it back inside the blue line. Now here comes Ashton. Stopped by Benning, or Harris rather. Again, Adam going in, gets a shot right on, and Resch makes the save and hangs on to it. Once again, we're going around the country for another NHL update, and here's Brian McFarland.
Bad night for the goaltenders at the Montreal Forum. Chicago has gone in front of Montreal 7-6 now. We're going to see a goal by Rich Preston of the Blackhawks. Just less than half a period to play at the Montreal Forum, but Preston is right there for a rebound, as you will see, and the goal gets past 70 in the Montreal goal. That's the 7th goal for Chicago as Preston puts it in. The 7-6 scores there on the board. Let's get back to the action in Toronto.
Tell you, a real shootout in Forum tonight, Mickey. And this one is shaping up the same way as Vive puts a weak shot in. Resch stopped it with a stick. Coming up to the 9-minute mark as Korn slides one in front. Vive was there but couldn't handle it. Marini nearly broke away for New Jersey. Ashton playing it in for the New Jersey Devils. That's McGill. Stopped by Ashton. He bumped into Vive. Got a shot away then. And Larocque stopped it again. Coming out is Korn. To center. Korn going in. Can't get by the defense. Lorimer stopped him. Was all over him. Rocked him right out of the play. Long shot from center. Stopped easily by Resch. Leafs keep it in. Slide it through the crease. Now Vive couldn't stop that pass. He nearly picked it off, and he was in a good spot to get a shot away, and he knocked it down. They're nearing the halfway mark of the period. 5-4 Toronto. And the Leafs on the move. Saginaw coming in. Took a shot. It was blocked by the defense. That was Badney getting in front of it. Foster got away. Saginaw caught up to him. Uris hooked it back in his own zone, looking for Salming. Out to Rocky Saginaw. Coming down. In a check with him. He was bumped. And Murkowski picks it up inside his own line and leaves it for Badney with 10 minutes left in the hockey game and 5-4 Toronto. Uris. Pass onto the skate of Inachek. He whipped it in. And New Jersey can't move it by center ice. They have to come back again. The Leafs behind in their first game against Chicago, 3-0. They tied it up. Behind St. Louis, 3-0. They nearly tied it. They had a big lead here, and now they find it's turned a bit as New Jersey is coming back, and it's 5-4.
Took a penalty here to Toronto's Rocky Saginaw, Bob.
This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
The stands weren't exactly crowded when perhaps the most significant game in the long history of baseball was played. What made it so significant? Well, it certainly wasn't the baseball. No, it was the time of day, nightfall. For it was on this night in 1924 that a small group of General Electric engineers ushered in the era of night baseball and made possible for us all the many brilliant nights to come.
Well, Rocky Saginaw in the box for the Leafs. It's like a roughing call. There's a roughing call spelled tripping. But nevertheless, Saginaw in the box for 2 minutes. 5-4 hockey game. New Jersey on the power play.
And the Leafs right away shoot it down the ice. Vadnais coming back. He has Aaron Broughton, number 24, back there with him. McMillan is up front with Tambellini and Lever. That's the power play. And they started moving as far as center ice. Chop it into the Leaf zone. Back very quickly is Bill Harris. He gets behind the net. Salming couldn't clear it out. Here's a chance now for Broughton. What a pass in front of Dandy. McMillan gets set in front of the net. Didn't get the pass though. Now he's back of the goal with it. Tambellini's standing there, but it's cleared over the boards at the Leaf bench, and it's called.
You know, a lot of folks, I don't think, expected too much out of this hockey game tonight, Bob, with these clubs last year. Colorado finishing 21st, Toronto finishing 19th, but got a pretty good hockey game here tonight. The Leafs continuing their very good play. I know Nicolak's very happy with the first 2 games on the road, and they've certainly been exciting here tonight. New Jersey looks like a brand new club, brand new start hockey club, don't they?
I think they're going to be okay. It's going to take a while. They've got some veterans in there now. As you look at that final score, Quebec over Buffalo, and I'll tell you, talking about teams moving and having trouble, Buffalo is not away to such a great start. As people thought they would.
In that Quebec game, Bob, Peter Stastny, he got the 3-goal hat trick, and that's his second hat trick in 3 games. He now has, I believe, 8 goals in 3 hockey games.
He's an incredible hockey player. Beautiful to watch. Just have to think back to the Boston-Quebec series last year in the Stanley Cup playoffs. What a series he had.
And played hurt as well.
New Jersey now looking for the tying goal. Get it in front of the Leaf net. And Bellini's pass, he scored! Malinowski got it over to the far side. Tambellini was in front.
Boy, some pretty passing, Bob, by the Devils here. Great pass by Malinowski in behind Salming. And I believe it was Ashton that redirected it behind Funny Larocque. Of course, the Devils with the man advantage. Look at that pass, and there is, and Marini it is, right-hand shot. Ashton and Marini both to the right of Larocque, and a 5-5 hockey game. What a very costly penalty by Rocky Saginaw.
Malinowski set up the play beautifully, and it's 5-5. Well, the New Jersey Devils have come back with 8 minutes remaining in the game. So now the Leafs will try to get it going again, as they did in the first period. Anderson's shot, a weak one blocked, as Inachek was hit hard trying to set it up. Now coming down is Foster, breaking in, right on goal. Took the shot up high off the glass. On the other side, kept in by Quendel. Another drive. That's up high and off the glass. I'll tell you, the New Jersey Devils are coming close to taking a lead. Foster in there. Left it for Vautour. Trying to jam it in. And Larocque, hugging the post, held it out. With a score, New Jersey 5, Toronto 5. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Introducing a new size Ford LTD, reshaped for superb road stability.
Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond in the broadcast booth at Maple Leaf Gardens here in Toronto for the home opener for the Leafs. It looked as if it would be a waltz for Toronto. Not so. The New Jersey Devils have battled back, and it's 5-5. And here's McMillan taking a shot. Blocked. Adam clearing it out for Toronto. Again in the center ice zone. It's dropped back. Uris for Salming. Pass to Adam coming in. Adam gets set. Gets into the slot area. Couldn't shoot it though. It's played to the far side. Chopped in front by Gavin. Harris went after it. A weak backhander, and Resch is not taking any chances. And he covers up. Another NHL update for you now. Here's Brian.
Well, it's been a long, long time since the Montreal Canadiens have given up 8 goals against on home ice. But here's Doug Wilson getting in position. Nobody near him for Chicago, and he puts the Blackhawks in front 8-6 over Montreal there in the third period at the Forum. There's the score. Back to the action at the Garden.
Only 14 goals in that one. We've got 10 in this one. And they're even here. 7:05 left. That's Adam, number 16, with Gavin 9. Harris is 15, and back at the blue line for the Leafs, inside the line, that is Duras and Salming. There you see the lineup. And it comes back to Salming. Into the corner it goes. Here comes Harris looking for it, but Lever will clear it for New Jersey. Nearly hit McMillan on the fly. Duras got a stick in the way of the pass. Coming back, Hutchison behind the net. Played it off the boards. McMillan trying to clear it. He does. Got it to center ice. Salming is backing up. Salming fired one up across center. New Jersey coming back with it. Gavin trying to catch up to Lever. Can't do it. The weak shot, though, is off the net. Now Gavin from the left side with Adam coming out. On the right wing is Bill Harris. In goes Adam. Adam was stopped by Lorimer. Adam went after it again. And it's fired away by Broughton off the boards to center ice. New Jersey just shooting it down, and they change. As the Leafs have to go back with 6:15 left in the game. Score tied at 5. Gavin bumped near center ice, but he moved it into the New Jersey zone. Malinowski coming out. Malinowski got to center by, took it away from him, coming back in. Pass to Martin. Martin shot. Nice save by Chico Resch as the puck was heading for the far corner. And Resch made the save.
2 sticks down, boys.
This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
For the dreams you've grown up with and hold on to so dearly. For the promises you've made to yourself. Safe, secure Canada Savings Bonds. Your bond with the future. On sale October 25th.
Bob Cole and Mickey Redmond with 5:55 left in the hockey game and a 5-5 tie.
Well, the expressions have changed. One of disappointment of Mike Nicoluk to a little more happiness out of Bill McMillan behind that New Jersey bench.
This is Boymstruck coming back for Toronto. His pass going nowhere near center. Might have another opportunity to move it now. He stopped his man, then Vive was bumped. Couldn't get by at center ice, but he got the puck in. Now Vadnais, a lead pass to center. That's Malinowski going up. Larocque from the corner, out of the net, shoots it over this way, and Ashton was on it quickly. New Jersey forechecking again. Fired back of the net by Benning. Off the boards, it gets to the line and out. And the New Jersey Devils are offside. Another NHL update for you. And again, here's Brian McFarland.
The Montreal Canadiens are still in it at the Forum as Gainey, shown here, along with Acton, sets up Mark Hunter for a goal. There it is behind Tony Esposito, and the score now with a few minutes to play is 8-7, Chicago in front.
Well, what do you make of that, Mick?
Looks good on the goaltenders. They really want to score them up there. We made reference to that game last year that was in Toronto opening Saturday, 9-8. They may have a repeat there in Montreal.
Koski tried to get one in front of Bunny Larocque. It didn't work. Center, Quenneville shooting it in. I'll tell you, Mickey, the New Jersey Devils are coming on here in this third period. And here's Foster with it behind the net. Poke it in front. Quick shot. That's blocked up the defense. Again, Koski tried to shoot it. He was stopped. The fans hollering now for the Leafs to do something. Clear it. Foster back of the goal. Stopped by Duras. They can't find it. In a check. Left it for Duras. And Duras gets it out to Rocky Saganuk in center. He lost it right away. Coming back for Koski. Dropped it inside his own line. Up fast and lashing it in across the blue line was Palmer. The New Jersey Devils are in after it. Backhand shot by Lever, didn't get through. Lever again, keeping it in. Murkowski went after it. Salming bumped with him. With 4 minutes left in the third period, they fall on it. And they get a whistle for a face-off in the Leaf zone. Live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Every day, more than 75,000 Canadians go to work for CN. These people are responsible for running our businesses profitably. Those profits enable CN to grow, expand, and diversify. That's good for our businesses, the country, and the Canadian people. In short, that's good business. CN, in business for Canada.
Okay, from that face-off inside the Leaf line, they're going to bring it out right away, and it's Bourne to center. Score tied at 5 with 3:45 remaining in the game. The Leafs ahead at one point in this hockey game, 5-1. But suddenly, the New Jersey Devils are right back in it, and they're threatening to win it now. They've had some good opportunities over the last 3 or 4 minutes in around Bunny LaRock.
Look at the rough guy for the Leafs, Bob McGill, taking a steady shift out there, regular shift tonight.
And next week, folks, we have the major game at Montreal. New York Rangers will be there to play the Canadians. And Mickey, I understand you'll be in working with Danny and Dick on that one.
Yes, sir.
And here in Ontario, we'll have Chicago in to visit the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we'll be working alongside Bobby Hull and Gary Dornhofer for that game.
Bob, that Chicago club, as we're seeing tonight in Montreal, they've got a great skating club this year, and young Savard's off to a great start. Played a whale of a game against the Leafs the other night in Chicago. We've got a very exciting hockey club, as I'm sure everybody will see.
Gavin intercepted one and nearly picked that short side. McGill keeping it in. Resch looking a little worried about that shot. It might have been deflected in front. Gavin poking at it along with McMillan. They get another whistle for a face-off in the New Jersey zone with only 3:14 remaining. The score tied at 5.
And our new clock at Maple Leaf Gardens here is just telling us an update on the baseball game. St. Louis has tied Atlanta in the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-3. And you're asking me, Bob, who I might have had my money on. I like that young fella for Atlanta, that 43-year-old knuckleballer. I think he's going again tonight. I think he can pitch every day. There's a final, another final tonight. Boston came all the way back after trailing Hartford 4-1, 5-4, Boston over Hartford. Barry Peterson, a pair of goals in that contest.
All the games seem to be decided, I don't mean this now so openly, in the third period when you see teams coming back so much this year. Look at this game tonight. Look at the Leafs last Wednesday in Chicago. And nearly a game the next night in St. Louis. Canadians tonight. Boston tonight. Everybody coming back. There's a long shot. The rebound was there. New Jersey nearly had a lead. Down goes LaRock. Scramble for it. And the referee lost sight of it, and they call the play. With the score, New Jersey 5, Toronto 5. This is Hockey Night in Canada. They just dropped it in, and the puck goes sliding behind the net into the corner where 5 falls on it. And get another whistle with 2:36 left in the game, Mickey. And the New Jersey Devils down 5-1, stayed alive, came back, and it's now tied at 5.
When was the last time you could talk about last year? And of course, Colorado Rockies being undefeated. They're undefeated coming in here tonight. Right now, a 5-5 tie. And as Donnie Lever alluded to, they're very happy to get off to a good start. Last year, I think they lost 19 or 20 straight, he said. It was very disappointing. A great start for them this year.
Ashton on that last face-off nearly hit the far corner. Came right back to him. Now the Leafs with some pressure on. 5 knocked down along with Badney. He had him covered. New Jersey's Marini trying to move it out. He took a swing at it, missed it. They get it to the line, not out. They're still onside. 5. Bringing it in for Toronto. Trying to set up Martin. At the far side, they keep it in. Aubin fell to the ice. Got back up again, but couldn't find it. And now it's called. They bring it back inside the New Jersey line for this draw. And just 2 minutes left on the clock.
Bob, you mentioned New Jersey taking over here in the third period. They've really forechecked the Leafs, and they put them in all kinds of trouble. Shots pretty even at this point. Toronto 25, New Jersey 24. But if you had to give a win for a territorial advantage, I would say New Jersey has definitely had it here in the third period, where the Leafs had it in the opening period. But they've really forechecked. They've dumped it in, and they've tried to force that Maple Leaf defense to go back there and make some mistakes. And they've capitalized on that type of play.
1:50 now left. That's Foster at his own line. He left it for Hutchison. Cleared it down to the Leaf line. Coming in now in a check. Gets set, shoots. High shot off the glass. but he was in close enough to score. 5-5 tie, 1:35 remaining. New Jersey shooting it in. McGill for Toronto. Anderson missed it, and it slides to center. Now Lorimer played it in over the Leaf line. Two Leafs break to center. Anderson could do it. There's a shot, and that's knocked away by Resch. Anderson uncorking the bullet drive. 1:15 left in the game. Score tied at 5. The Leafs were leading by 4 goals at 1 point. Now Foster down for New Jersey. Couldn't pick it up. And a check got away from Lorimer. Got it inside the New Jersey line. A minute left in the hockey game. The New Jersey Devils on the move now. Shooting it in is Quenneville. And Larocque trying to clear it out himself. McMillan was there. Stopped it. Here's Vadnais. Look out! His shot a low one and wide. Saganuk. He played it to center. Gavin missed the pass. He was on the fly had he picked it up. McMillan from center ice. New Jersey coming back in. That's Lever. 35 seconds left. Larocque back of the net with Salming to clear it and off the boards down the ice. The Leafs just trying to hang on now. 28 seconds left in the hockey game. Resch dumped it off the boards behind his own net. In the corner, the Leafs must forecheck right here. 15 seconds left in the game, and it comes down the ice. It might go all the way. It does. It'll be icing. Salming is back. 10 seconds left. 9 seconds left. And the puck will be faced off inside the New Jersey line to the right of Chico Resch. 9 seconds left.
Well, we've seen a goal tonight result of one of these face-offs deep in the zone. Unfortunately for the Leafs, it was against them. And they're hoping now to turn that table around here with just 9 seconds to go. That face-off deep in the New Jersey zone to the right of Chico Resch.
And the Leafs come on with Aubin. He'll take the draw, hopefully.
And I'm supposing Toronto probably going to have a timeout here, Bob, by one of the two clubs. Ron Hogarth coming to the penalty box now. Looks like New Jersey has called timeout. So the Leafs also go over to their bench to get some last-minute instructions from Mr. Nicoluk and Mr. Maloney.
Mickey, you have to say, should this game end in a tie, that it's a bit of a disappointment, to say the least, for the Maple Leafs before their home fans, the first time this year, rolling out like they did in the first period and showing such great speed, great forechecking and hustle, and then leading 5-1, and to allow the New Jersey Devils to come back and score 4 times, put us in this situation.
Well, you know, you alluded to it late in the first period when the Leafs were leading 4-1, that you can't sit back and let something like that think you're going to run away with the game. As I mentioned, the Leafs turned the tables on Chicago the other night, last Wednesday.
What happened?
What happened? Well, you just kind of relax a little bit, I guess. You don't realize you're doing it, but you think things are coming so easily. We got these guys down and out tonight. They're not ready to play. And you just start to stand around a lot. And as we've seen here tonight, New Jersey got their skating legs going. It took them a period and a half, and Toronto was a little bit lax at that point. And all of a sudden, we had the goal. We had the penalty to Salming right after the goal, and then the third goal by New Jersey, and you had a new start for the Devils. And the next thing you know, they were carrying the play and tied the hockey game.
Okay, Mickey, let's see how the Leafs line up now. Derlego is on now after that timeout, so he'll take the draw. Vyde is to his left. Duras behind him, and Salming is right up on the rim of the circle to the right of Derlego. He'll drop back a few feet. There you see Salming moving back. And Martin is in the slot area. Now, with 9 seconds left, they don't have too much time. I would think that Derlego would try to move it out in front of the New Jersey net rather than get it back, although he has Vyde right behind him. He could either make a screen shot. He doesn't get the draw anyway, but it goes back to the goal, and Lorimer was on it to Vadnais. 5 seconds left. Vadnais will try to kill the clock, and he's doing a pretty good job. The veteran Vadnais hooking it behind the goal, and the game is over with the New Jersey Devils coming from behind. They were trailing by 4 goals, and they stayed in it and were rewarded and tied the Maple Leafs.
It looks like both teams congratulating each other down in the corner there. A little bit of a mix-up as the whistle blew and the buzzer went. The game is over.
So it's a 5-5 tie. In just a moment, our Molson Cup 3-star selection. Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's Holtzen Cup three-star selections. The first star, Merlin Malinowski. The second star, John Anderson. And the third star, Glenn Murkowski.
Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment.
Now you can save too with a special offer where you buy SO Uniflow.
Come on, Canada.
This is Canada's Navy.
But 2 games complete now at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. The Devils fought back to earn a 5-5 tie with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Big play in that game was Chico Resch stopping Terry Martin's penalty shot. Scoring for the Devils, Vadnais, Murkowski, Malinowski, Lorimer, and Marini. For Toronto, Anderson, Benning, Dorlego, Podubny, and Salming. And what a shootout they had in Montreal tonight. The game wound up 8-7 in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks. Savard, Patterson, Preston with a pair, Gardner, Ludzig, Lysiak, and Wilson for the Hawks. Lafleur had a big night for Montreal. He was a bright spot with 3 goals. Wickenheiser had a pair. Mondu added 1, and Hunter got the other Montreal goal, but it wound up 8-7 Chicago. Wayne Gretzky had a pair of goals tonight, including his 200th career goal in a game against Vancouver. Edmonton won the hockey game 6-3. Dave Hunter, Anderson, Huddy, Gretzky with his pair, and Hughes for Edmonton. We have 2 of the 3 goals for Vancouver. Patrick Sundstrom, a swift-skating Swede, we're going to hear a lot about him, scored, as did team captain Stan Smeel. Well, goalie Ed Stanowski recorded the first shutout of the young NHL season tonight in Detroit. Winnipeg bombed Detroit 8-0. Brian Mully, that fine rookie, had a pair of goals. Steen, Christian, Craig Levy, also 2 goals for Winnipeg tonight. Butler and Lindstrom got the others. Detroit, of course, nothing on the score sheet. Peter Stastny picked up his second hat trick of the season tonight. He scored 3 goals against Buffalo in a 6-4 Quebec victory. Goulet had a pair and Rochefort for Quebec. For Buffalo, it was Playfair, Andrechuk with 2 goals, and McKegney. Now, we have no word yet on the game Calgary at Los Angeles, but a rookie for Boston, Luke Duford, scored late in the game at 18:37, and it enabled Boston to edge Hartford 5-4. Ferguson, Peterson, Krushelinski, and then Duford's goal for the Bruins. Lyle Silton and Bob Sullivan and Pierre LaRouche replied for Hartford. A final in now. The New York Rangers have defeated Pittsburgh 5-3. Rob McClanahan, the former Olympic hero, had a pair of goals for the Rangers. Johnstone, Nilsson, and Lennon. Gatsus, Carlisle, and Maloney scored for Pittsburgh. Philadelphia has just edged Washington 3-2. Allison, Sittler, and Prop. Marouk and Gardner late in the third. It's Minnesota leading St. Louis 5-2. There in the third, as we just said. Game almost over. Now we look ahead to next week. It's the New York Rangers at Montreal and Chicago playing at Toronto. So long, everybody, from all of us on Hockey Night in Canada.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by